What is going on, guys? I am Chad, and if you have not seen this before, I'm Chad Jarvis from the red half of Sheffield, and today the Blades are finally back. I don't know about you guys, but I've been yearning for some Blades. You know, we had to go through that last international break until the World Cup. So now it's Blades football for the next, I think we have 11 matches from here and from now until the last weekend before we take, I believe it's a 3-week break due to the World Cup. But I mean, hey, let's soak it in. The Blades are back, top of the league. We play the Blues of Birmingham City today. Let's let's go, boys. I hope you guys are energized and joining me. Not the other half of Red Half of Sheffield, but if you guys listen this week, it might be a sneak peek for. I guess we can be called the 1/3 of Sheffield. I don't know, but let's bring him in. It is nobody other than Captain Costa, Robert Kitson. Robert, how are you doing today? Thanks for joining us.
Doing well. Yeah. We'll have to come up with a better name than the 1/3 of
Yeah,
Sheffield.
I'm
Maybe
trying to. I'm
the
trying to
East
divide
Coast
us.
of the
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. The
yeah.
East Coast of Sheffield. Yeah, I mean, it makes it more. It makes more sense since we're on the East Coast, and Noah, when he does this, is usually on the West Coast. So, um, yeah, I'm excited to. The Blades are back. The boys are back. It
Yeah.
seems like I don't know if you have the stream pulled up, but SUTV has done some work in the couple of weeks off. They finally made it. I can watch it on my iPad and it's full screen.
Ooh,
It's
there we
not
go.
the. It's not the. Hey, oh wow, improved lineup sheet. Look at wow. We're finally getting all the money we dumped in. It's finally paying off. And I'm so excited. I cannot believe that we have an upgraded. I mean, because what did we pay? I think I paid 140 pounds for the streaming pass for the
hmm
season. And finally, oh my God, we actually have player faces and names and lineups on the pit. Oh my God.
See, this
We're in an
is
elite category. This is top of the table. This is league leaders type stuff here.
absolutely. Now, I will say the immediate concern that folks are going to be asking is the big question: what is the formation? Are we doing four at the back, or like SUTV is putting up here, is it five at the back? Is Rita Cadra our left back?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't understand that formation. I briefly saw it as it scrolled by, but yeah, it looked like a back five. And as you guys can probably see, we have the Blades lineup against Birmingham City. Scrolling across the bottom, the notable name, obviously, we can talk about No NL, No NL for probably what 2, 3 more weeks.
hmm
You know, they're keeping it as the Blades usually do, tight to the vest on how the extent of his injury. It seemed like he got injured in our last game against Preston and didn't even go on international duty with Bosnia Herzegovina. So the original diagnosis was he was out for a month. It's been what 2 weeks now since
hmm
that news has came out. So hopefully we're halfway through his injury stint and he comes back into the side in 2-3 weeks. But if you check out the bench, there's some names that haven't been there in a while, aka Jaden Bogle. Welcome back. But what are your overall thoughts on our lineup today?
Yeah, I'm excited to see Bash back on the right hand side of the defense at a minimum. Um, but yeah, my biggest question mark is what is going on the left side? Are we playing four at the back, and is Reese Norrington Davies having to kind of learn that transition role of a traditional fullback and a back four? I feel like I could trust Baldock and Basham on the right hand side, but Egan and R&D, is that what the left is, or is Rita Cadra being pulled out of position, and is he playing more of that left wing back role? He's got the pace for it. I'm sure he's got the skills that to be able to accomplish the way we use the wing back, where it's really high, pressed up the field, almost like a winger coming out of midfield. And Cadra could probably do that pretty effectively. But Have we trained with it? How long, since we've known Anel has an injury since before the international break, is that what everybody's been working on? I'm not
Yeah.
sure, especially with Kadra being out with the German U21 teams, making good appearances, making good contributions, especially against the England U21 team at Bramall Lane. But with him missing, did we get the chance to work that? I mean, R&D, speaking of international, like R&D was gone with Wales the whole international break. So the two playing on the left side, are they going to know how to work together? Have they had more than 1 or 2 days practice? Or are we switching to a back four and Paul Heckenbottom's just like, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's attack. Let's throw everybody up. Honestly, it could still work. I think one of the best defenses is a good offense. If we've got the ball and if we're scoring, the other team can't do that. So
Yeah, I would agree with that. It'll be fun to see how the boys line up and come out and play. And you know, like you alluded to, we had a bunch of players out on international duty, so I don't know if we're gonna have I don't know, what would you say, a tired squad? Because I mean, I think Sandy Barge played Norway's both 90 minutes for them while he was away. So a little ballsy putting him in back into the lineup. And, you know, is he going to be tired? Is he going to be out there sluggish, gone missing like we're so used to, and in everything? Like some games he goes missing. Is this one
yeah,
of those games where he, just due to him being so worn out, does he just go missing for 90 minutes? Or is he one of the players that gets subbed off for like a McAtee on the bench? I don't know. It's kind of, in the situation we find ourselves in with injuries, it's almost like he's got to play. He doesn't have any choice but to play.
absolutely. Yeah. Sander Berge is an interesting one. If you look at the comments on Twitter that, kind of some of the commentary that's been rolling around, he may not have had as good of performances for Norway as the Norwegian fans would have liked. And that was definitely some stuff that I was reading. So maybe, again, is that because Norway's playing him as a defensive midfielder? And we all know that anytime he plays any further back than essentially an attacking mid or a central mid on attack kind of role, he's not going to be effective. So I don't know if I'm as concerned about Sander Berge being tired, especially if he's been playing a more holding midfield role. He probably gets less mileage on the boots than in the way we play him. And with Doyle in the game, I think we're going to still see an attacking form of the Sander Berge we're used to seeing because we have two midfielders. It's just a matter of, I think the team is whether or not they are going to be ready for however we line up at the back, if it's 4 or if it's Kadra back with the 5. That's the bigger question. But absolutely all around tired legs from all the folks who have been playing out in the international break. Lots of minutes, which is always good to see. John Egan getting 2 goals is amazing to see. Rhian Brewster getting 2 goals is amazing to see. The team players are being able to finally use the international break to build up some form, build up some confidence, and hopefully we see that translate into today's match. But as you're saying, we're going to have to probably use some subs. I love the fact that we have 5 subs to use right now. Yeah, this run we're going into, we're going to be using them all, and we're going to need to use them effectively. And I'm sure Paul Heckenbottom's been thinking about that. He's had this, like we said, he's known about Anel's injury for 2 weeks now. So he should be ready to go. He should have the game plan, and he should know what he wants to do with this side against Birmingham City.
Yeah, and as you just good segue into that, as I have the Birmingham City lineup scrolling across the bottom of the screen, you got Ruddy in goal. He's a good goalkeeper. I mean, he's a goalkeeper with Premier League experience. The one name in their defense that comes to mind is Deion Sanderson. We were heavily linked to him in summer. Birmingham City were able to get him in through the door. I don't know. Their defense is not the best, but I can't off the top of my head, and I'm trying to pull it up right now, but I think Birmingham they've scored 8 and given up 10 goals. So defensively, they're not that good of a team. And based on our form, we've only given up 5 goals, and I think we've scored 19. So today's the opportunity for us to pad that goal differential. That's what I like. The couple players we do have to look for an attack for Birmingham City, Scott Hogan and like Troy Deeney. He's like what 85 years old, but he
Seems like it.
still slots in for his boyhood club. I don't know. I just don't feel very good about this Birmingham City side. I just think we'll be able to control the game like we've come up against these lesser sides. Like,
Mhm.
we'll have a bunch of the possession and we'll be able to, kind of dictate play. Can we break them down? Them giving up 10 goals through 10 games, not defensively sound. I'm okay with that because that gives us opportunities to open them up and slot maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 goals past them today.
If that's your prediction for the score, I'm gonna be I don't know what to think. But yeah, no, this is a side that probably has some question marks floating around their fan base, and obviously, Hogan being your top scorer with 5 goals, that's good. That's a good solid output for about 10 games into the season. So I think offensively they're probably a little bit more comfortable with what they've got. The experience of Troy Deeney. Hogan's been around the block a few times. They've got the younger Bellingham brother off the bench. In Job Bellingham. So they're a side that probably can do some damage if they're on any given match. But the questions at defense, like you said, I think there's an interesting narrative with Deion Sanderson and like us being linked to him last year. And okay, how does he perform against a bigger team, a team that's higher up the table at a minimum,
Mhm.
that was interested in him? How can he respond and put in those types of performances against us? So we'll see going forward. I like you. I'm not sure if they've got the right stuff to challenge our back line and to challenge us defensively. But I think the biggest question is coming back to it again. I'm going to keep reiterating it all match until I see what happens. Is how do we handle the uh, gap on the left hand side? We'll call it the missing Anel Ahmedhodzic. How do we deal with that? And maybe that's how Birmingham City can exploit the Blades back line today.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they don't because I want to keep us this, you know, this positive start to this season.
Mm.
And, the Blades are notoriously slow starters out of the international break. So that's the only thing I'm worried about is, do we come out and we usually put out a lackluster result, aka a draw or a loss when we probably should win. So
Mm.
I don't know if this is one of the games where you could put a little bit of money on Birmingham City to get to nab like a late draw where it might be 1-0 and they grab a late goal because we kind of switch off due to fatigue and give up a late goal. I don't know. I just don't see it happening. And guys, put your in the little comment section, put your score predictions because in a few minutes we're gonna get to our score predictions and how we think it's gonna go. But a question for you, Robert. I don't know how much you've been paying attention to around the championship. Watford sacked their manager after 10 games. Hull just sacked their manager yesterday after or before their game against Luton last night. What is going on with this league? I the question I have to you now, the case is different with Watford, but when these teams come up against the Blades and we kind of give it to them, if you watch their form after they play the Blades, they really find a hard time get going after we like thump them.
Hmm.
So my question to you is this the Blades effect that we're seeing to where,
Yeah.
a couple of games down the road, the form's not the same coming into the game against the Blades. And when we put a performance on against them, and then they come out of that game and have a few poor results, then the heat's on the manager, and all of a sudden he's been sacked.
Yeah, it's very likely. I mean, we've seen that in a lot of these like match previews that you guys have done, that the Sheffield United Way have put up on the YouTube channel, watching a lot of those, we kind of look into, okay, what is each team like good at? What are they known for? How are we going to like, what are we going to have to look out for? What are the danger men? What are the tactics they use? And so far this season, the way that Heckingbottom's put the side out there and tactically kind of gone in against a lot of these teams, we've just exposed them, is what it's felt like. Especially the last like 5 or 6 matches, we've found teams' weaknesses and been like, yeah, no, that's where we should go. That's how we should attack you. Being, if it's control possession or, against Swansea, they're a team that likes to have the ball all the time. So what do? We held in there. We were defensively solid, didn't let them score a single goal till the very end, and then just boom, counterattack. Let's go win the game.
Mhm.
Now, again, that might have been a little lucky for an example, but like that type of performance consistently against all these other teams is something that we have done this season. And so maybe that's where the team that plays them next goes and says, "Oh, the Blades just did this. They attacked and won a game against you using these tactics. We should try that against you."
Yeah.
And it's natural, right? Anytime a team loses, you're going to go and look at the winning side and see what did they do to beat that team. That's going to happen everywhere. But because we've been consistently winning, I think that may be why teams are looking to our results for inspiration. And so then the next one or two down the line, that's going to be what happens is those teams will continue to struggle.
Yeah. 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 And I'm inclined to agree with you on that because, like you said, it's almost a copycat league here to
Mhm.
where you see what happens and then you try and mirror that. But I think, I don't know. The international break gave me time to, and I usually kind of switch off for 2 weeks. It kind of gave me a little bit of time to go back and look and be like, yeah, we are kind of, you know, dominating right now and, not giving teams a chance.
Yeah,
Honestly, it's almost like the game is almost won before it starts. It's
right.
almost like I feel like we have an intimidating factor about us. Oh, we score all these goals and don't concede much. And then these teams know that going into the game are like, "Oh no. What are we going to do? We don't know how to face this." And then they're like, "Oh, well, oh, there goes. That's a defeat. That's a
Yeah.
loss." So it's crazy to say that about this team considering where we've been for the last couple of years, but I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yep. Yep, definitely. And we got to comment on it. Right now too is this is our first game back at home in like a month,
Yeah.
because we've had the international break and we've had 3 consecutive road wins, which is something that again last season form, even as good as it was towards the tail end, we still couldn't figure out how to win on the road. So now that we've got that figured out, like yeah, we're scary. This is a team that I don't think anybody in the league wants to face.
No.
And so certainly that has to be a mindset, a mental game as well. Is we know they're going to come and attack us. We know we're going to have to be really good to prevent their Sheffield United from scoring. But at the same time, how do we score against a team that is so good defensively,
Yeah.
the keeper that is so good, like clean sheet West, like that I do not envy any manager of a side going up against us because it's got to be one of the hardest jobs in the world trying to break down this Blades team right now. And as I say it, this is pre-match, so of course, touch
Yeah.
wood, knock on wood, whatever.
Exactly.
I mean, big ego, and then we're gonna get crumbled down. So, speaking of
Yeah.
score positions, let's let's
Yeah.
jump into that right now.
um, if I had to predict right now, I think in the preview pod we did, I think I said 3-0. And I think honestly that's probably a fair score line, but I think it might be toned down just a bit. I
Hmm.
mean, I say just a bit. I'm probably going to go 2-0. I'm going to adjust it just based on by the time when we get to the end of the match or halfway through or 60 minutes,
Hmm.
I think that's where you see fatigue set in for our side. And if we've already got a goal, say around the 30th minute, I think we're going to switch to more defensively and
Yeah,
not try and go and maybe just kind of get a goal late in the second half after the match is kind of like all right, there's nothing left in this. We've made all our changes, whatnot. So I'm going to go with 2-0, but I could also see a big scoreline like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nil, 9, 10. I don't know how many you want me to go.
Yep. Now I like it. And folks, you've got your score predictions in the chat. So Dublin Blade, if we score early, predicting the 4-0, but if it's a later goal, if Birmingham City is able to hang in, going for a 2-0. Simon going for a 2-1. So the first goal we would concede in a while, but hey, that's spoiler alert. What my prediction was going to be is a 2-1. I will be like Noah said, a slightly more pessimistic. And you went 3-0. He went 2-0 in the preview pod. So you go 2-0. I'll go 2-1.
Yeah.
For this one, Wayne's got 4-0 Blades. Simon, Chad is.
I just read that.
Yep, because you're so cocky.
Yeah.
It's going to be a 1-2, and that's
probably
fair.
Probably a fair result.
Chris with the 2-0 for the Blades. So lots of positivity all around so far this morning. I think we're feeling that. And on SUTV, they're of course showing us highlights of John Egan's goals from the international break, which again, love to see that. That was awesome. I don't know if you've gotten a chance to watch those, but I think one of them was a header.
Yeah, one of them was a headed goal, so he didn't.
Square head, John Egan gets a headed goal. What?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. They're giving his stats right now. He's got 28 caps for Ireland. He's got 3 goals. I mean, that's probably more goals. How many goals in a Blade shirt does he have?
At least, I think it's 4 from at least the Premier League season.
Yeah, it's true.
I think he might have 1 or 2 that first season in the championship, but yeah, it's almost as many.
Yeah, it's almost as many, and he's played probably twice as many games, if not.
Oh, way more.
No,
yeah.
What? Yeah, it's like 5-6 times that. Yeah, geez.
Yep.
But at least he got in the goals. His confidence. He's going to have to be big in the back with no Anel.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to lock it down. I wonder. That's another concern of mine. Since Anel's not in the side, do we, become more softer in defense?
Mm-hmm.
Because Anel was almost like that rock with Egan. Now you take 2 rocks, separate them. You've got Egan back there, and you've got Bash. R&D keeps up his streak of playing good in that left back. I kind of like it, but there's so much uncertainty coming out of this international break because we all didn't want any injury, concerns, and what do? We have one go down. But I mean, in all honesty, it's good because we even have our backup goalkeeper back.
Yeah,
Davies is back. Bogle's back. I thought Kyron Gordon was going to get a shot, maybe, because I saw some lineup predictions earlier in the week, and they had him slotted in there. I'm not against that. Get the youngster a little bit of run in the first team, and especially I think. But we play Stoke midweek, and then I think we have. Oh no, we play QPR midweek, and then we play Stoke at the weekend, and then after that we have a couple more easier fixtures: Blackpool and Coventry. So before we get tuned up and face, the second place team in the league, the Canaries, but this will get us back into the groove. Of where I think we need to be going into that game, and we can see where we're at against them when we play them in 6 games or so.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, this is going to be, the concern with missing Anel, as Scott is asking in the chat right now, what formation are we thinking? So SUTV and a couple other sources I've seen have put Kadra at the left wing back position. So is Rita Kadra going to play on the left side as kind of a winger wing back role? Maybe. He's definitely got the skill set for it, but I think we could also likely see a 4 at the back formation, or you just go straight across R&D, Egan, Basham, and Baldock, with Kadra playing further forward. So you almost have then like a 4-3-3 kind of setup, with the Norwood, Doyle, and Berga in the midfield, and then you got Kadra, Njai, and McBurney up top. But again, even that's fluid because we know Ndai is going to push forward. Kadra can run forward, can drop deep, and Doyle and Norwood are going to sit deeper than Berga, hopefully. So it's like this complicated like system that we've got going on, and that as soon as you tweak the back line, like it feels like we have no idea what's going on as commentators, at least, and fans. But once we see it on the field, I'm sure it'll all fall into place. All the worries will go away. We'll score some early goals, get this game rolling. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
So.
It looks like a nice day out for Blades supporters at Bramall Lane. Yeah, you alluded earlier. I think it's been 32 days since we've played at home.
Jeez.
Because I think going into the international break, we played, 3 away games?
Yeah,
in a row?
We missed the one road game or one home game for the Queen's funeral and whatnot and passing. So, so definitely it's been a while since the Blades faithful have gotten to see them play at home. I'm sure, as you know, having been to beautiful downtown Bramall Lane, the crowd there, give us a little recap of that kind of hype, that atmosphere that you get when the Blades are playing at home.
It was good atmosphere. It was the best thing I can compare it to is a college football atmosphere. I wouldn't say it was as raucous as that, but in spurts. At the beginning of the game, and obviously we beat Millwall 2-0 when the goals went in, and then it was singing from start to finish, and then there was a few quiet periods in there and whatnot. But the crowd, the energy, you can feel it building. I think I was in the ground about a half an hour before the game started, and that's when the jet lag started to sit in. But I mean, you could feel it building, and then once the Greasy Chip Buddy song was sang out, it was crazy, and everybody's singing along, and then all that energy comes to a head, and then kick off, and then we kept it up. But there was times where the ground went down a little bit. But I mean, you're gonna have that everywhere because you're gonna have lulls in the game where nothing much is going on. And that game against Millwall, we had that basically in the bag. We could have beat them 4-5-0 that day, but we had the game won by halftime, so it was kind of the second half was kind of more of a lackluster, crowd as compared to an enthralling game where both sides are in it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But man, does that ground look good. And when you see it in person, it's from pitch level, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, it's just, it looks so massive especially when I took my tour of the ground and I walked out of the tunnel and you just see the stand all the way around you, and you look up and it's empty, and you can almost hear a pin drop. It's so quiet. And you just look, and it's like so massive. It's just like playing in this environment. This would get my blood flowing every single time I played at home.
Yep. Well, the lads are coming out of the tunnel to the applause of the fans, wearing the red and white kit that Chad is modeling lovely for us today.
Yes.
So, which I think we're finally like getting the away kits out now, and who knows about this third kit that I think maybe was it a fever dream that I saw that in a video somewhere, like that we had a third kit.
Yeah, they haven't even said anything about it. So I'm going to purchase, probably after I get done doing this, I'm going to purchase the away kit and the goalkeeper kit. I don't know when I'm going to get them, but they say they're available for order and to ship. So I would imagine it takes about a week or so week and a half to get the kits. Mm-hmm. So as I continually get them, I will don them for everyone to see. Yeah, that third kit, I don't know if we're ever going to wear it. Are we going to ever? Was that just a teaser and just saying, hey, that might be something for next season? I mean, that'd be weird of the team to drop a kit like that and then not ever wear it. But I mean, we play a lot of games away. There's got to be an opportunity for it at some point.
Yeah. Someone's going to have a mostly white kit that we're going up against, or something with, white and red stripes. We've seen it already. We thought maybe against Sunderland, we might
Mm-hmm.
throw something out, or maybe this upcoming game against Stoke, we'd see it. So we'll see. It'll all depend. But in the meantime, we're getting ready for kickoff here. Sheffield United against Birmingham City. The Blades ready. Obviously, starting 11 is rolling at the bottom of the screen right now. You can check it out. No Anel Ahmedhodzic. If you've missed the news, injury right before the international break kicked off. So he is out, and instead we have slotted Rita Kadra in. Question marks on where he'll be playing exactly. Is it a left wing back role, or will we be playing for at the back? So certainly we will have to see once we get going here. For Birmingham City, Danger Men, Scott Hogan, got Troy Deeney up top, Bakuna, Bielik, Chong, Longello, Trusty, Sanderson, Colin, Graham, and Ruddy at the back in goal. So their team news scrolling along the bottom as well. Ready to go. We've got the score predictions in. Everybody in the chat getting excited. David asking the question, the good question, where are we watching the game? So we're watching on SUTV Live here in the States. Unless the game is picked for the ESPN Plus broadcast, we get the matches here through SUTV Live. So if you're visiting the U.S., make sure you get that set up before you head out here so you can watch the matches. So, and we are underway for me. It is kickoff.
Let's go.
And I'm at, I'll give a time check at 30 seconds, but the Blades do have the ball right now, and it does look like Reese Norrington-Davies kicking it up with Kadra running down the left-hand side. So early questions answered. It may be Kadra at left wing back or a left winger role.
No, let's hope he doesn't have to defend, because I don't know how good his defensive skills are. Ooh, boy. Boy.
We will have to see.
One thing I will mention, it seems like the head referee from the last time, we had him as referee. Remember, he had the headband. He went ahead and trimmed his hair because a lot of people were giving him a little bit of stick for his long hair and his headband he had on, which was weird.
Yep. So you know the influence that Blades fans have on the game, just from that alone. So.
Right.
All right, so we are on 60 seconds, 1 minute exactly on my stream. So if you're following along and you have the ability to pause and kind of change where you're at, you can always pause the YouTube live stream or whatever device you're watching on. As Kadra passes out to Tommy Doyle, who makes an overlapping run, now checks back on the left-hand side, passes it towards the middle. Norwood with a quick first-time pass back to R&D. We're now over with Egan, cycling it in the back to Basham. Oh. Now back to the left-hand side with R&D, passes it up to Kadra, and right through the legs of Rita Kadra there.
I think I'm a few seconds behind you. I'm just about to go on to 145.
Oh, yeah, so I'm a few seconds ahead.
Yep. Yeah, so I saw that coming. Oof, that was a not the best pass right there, right through his legs too.
Yeah. So early questions being asked of Rita Kadra, does win the free kick there as the Birmingham City player went up for the challenge over top of him to get that headed ball. Yes, we will have to see. I'm a little skeptical at this point of if Kadra can play this left wing back role.
Yeah. Let's see what happens when he has to get back and defend. That might be something he has in the bag. It might be something we don't even know. Ooh, whoa!
Kadra here passing the ball in, and wow, misses the Birmingham City player and McBurney, who was trying to run onto that, but it did look like maybe Trusty did get a touch on that as the referee signals for the corner. Yeah, just barely grazed the top of his head. So it'll be the first corner of the match for Sheffield United. And from that standpoint, Rita Kadra with a really good cross, dangerous right into the area. Even with the slight graze of the Birmingham City player's head, it still was only a few feet away from the goalkeeper. So as the cross comes in from the corner, heads go up and it ricochets out. Tommy Doyle trying to put it back in the center. The Birmingham City players, miscommunication. Nobody actually goes up for it. But luckily, Ruddy is able to grab a hold of that one and does the quick long throw out to Chong, trying to start the fast break, but it goes a little too far, and Wes Fotheringham and John Egan able to clean that one up together.
Yeah, that was Birmingham City made a little bit of a hash of that at the back. It was a mess. Um I thought the ball was gonna fall and McBurney would have got on sides. They could have slotted it to him, but
Yep.
just right out of his well, he was offsides and he was never gonna get to it anyway.
hmm Yep, a through ball there. Santa Berga trying to find the running Illiman and Jai, but a little overhit, and Birmingham City see it out for a goal kick. So we're
Birmingham
on
City
4 minutes.
Birmingham City have a pretty good away, crowd in their end. Away
Yeah,
supporters kind of filled that away in, which is good to see. Looks like the ground for the most part is, I'd say, what, 95% full.
yeah. Not a lot of empty seats so far from the camera angles we're seeing, as the Blades do win the ball back in the midfield. Um, but yeah, Birmingham City, not too far away from Sheffield, um, but definitely a good support section there behind their goalkeeper right now. And as the ball rolls long from Norwood out for another Birmingham City goal kick.
Yeah, especially with the train issues over there. I'm not too keen on. I wouldn't want to go too far away because considering you
Yeah.
couldn't be able to get back, it's not guaranteed you're going to be able to get back. So, if something were to happen, you'd be stuck away somewhere.
Yep. And another long ball from the keeper does go out for a Birmingham City throw, put out by Baldock, but they have not had too much of the ball so far in the first 5 minutes, so hard to see exactly how Cadra is going to be working in defense on the left-hand side, especially with the ball now working down the right-hand side. And a good move from Chong, crosses it in, but Basham meets that one. And here is Cadra picking up the ball in midfield, little further forward than Tommy Doyle there. Maybe signs of where he's going to be playing, and a long pass from R&D down the sideline misses Cadra. A little bit of ping pong with the ball here, back and forth, and it does eventually settle into the goalkeeper, Ruddy, his hands, as he starts another Birmingham City attack, building up through the middle now. Number 31 there, Bielik out to Chong, and a free kick given as Bakuna is brought down by, I believe that was George Baldock.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of started how we envisioned it with us being on most of the possession, but here come Birmingham. They're almost growing into the game a little bit.
Definitely.
They're having a little bit more possession.
Yep. And sending a few of their defenders up here for this free kick, make it a little interesting here, taking it from about 10 yards past the halfway line. And McBurney up and wins the header. Cadra on the rebound here does a nice job to evade the first Birmingham City defender, but his touch a tad too heavy, and it goes out for a throw-in.
Yeah, it's Cadra when he gets on the ball kind of looks like he's out of control a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah. He's definitely got the speed. You can tell he's getting into the right position so far. But yeah, a lot of his touches are heavy. The one pass went right through his legs, so maybe some nerves early on. He'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens when he settles into this match a bit more. As the ball goes out again, Birmingham City throw. But some good pressure for the Blades so far, defensively speaking, not letting Birmingham City settle into this one.
No, that's one thing. Now they're messing about on the touchline about the ball. I don't know. I don't really know. Now they kind of seem to have a little bit of sustained pressure now. We can't really win the ball back. It's all going down this right-hand side or this near side to us on the screen.
Yep.
So we'll see what Cadra's made of in defense here for a little bit,
Yep. Definitely. And that is probably part of the tactics here, is try to expose the weaker side. You can attack the right-hand side where Anel usually plays, so see if Basham and Baldock can sustain without him. And at the same time, you could attack down the left and test Rita Cadra and Reese Norrington Davies and see how that partnership of young internationals is working out for the first time.
Yeah.
So Birmingham City still with the ball here, about 8.5 minutes in. A foul is not given, but advantage played as Baldock kind of checks one of the City players. And we've got now Graham trying to work down the side there, but RND does win the ball, and now is with the Blades and Tommy Doyle passing it across field all the way out to looks like George Baldock here, and trying to progress the ball forward to McBurney, sets it back for Basham, and does pass one Birmingham City player. A great 1-2, and can't get the cross off. It does hit, I think that's Langello, maybe, who gets a foot in. Does a good job of crossing that potential, blocking that potential cross from Basham. But the Blades still have possession, cycling it back now over to the left-hand side.
Yeah, I kind of like what McBurney's doing here. When we're in defense, he's dropping all the way back and defending the ball. I like that, and now he's going forward, and he's playing very unselfish.
Yep. And Baldock now looking to cross the ball in, but it does not meet a Blades player. It is easily cleared out, but it only back to Chris Basham. And so between Baldock, Basham, and Berger, we do work a nice little passing triangle on the right-hand side. Another cross in, back out to Norwood, who passes it up to Basham. Now Berger crosses it in, and it is right into the goalkeeper's hands, about a foot off in front of the goal. Good defensive skills here from the Birmingham City team as the Blades are really pressuring down that right-hand side. Lots of crosses that are being intercepted so far. So we haven't found that final player yet.
Yeah, I mean, we look good in attack. We're working a lot of ticky-tack passes, 1-2s, getting some players down that right-hand side, and we're not afraid to, just work it down one side. But I'd like to see us, come towards us and work it down the left-hand side more. But hey, if it's working, just keep going with it. Obviously, they're gonna at some point they're probably gonna break them down and get in there. And that wasn't a half bad chance from Sandy Barge in on goal.
Definitely. And yeah, the Birmingham City team so far early on has definitely looked like they're pretty good defensively when it comes to that final cross, defending against that last ball. But a lot of their clearances are falling so far straight into a Sheffield United player. So that sustained pressure that we can have hopefully works out for us in the long run and kind of tires the Birmingham City team when you are defending that much consistently. But we are back on the ball now as Rita Kadra has it on the left-hand side. A pass in just a foot or two in front of Njai, who's making that run into the box. So it is back with Birmingham City now as they are progressing the ball forward, trying to go up the right-hand side. But again, Blades putting the pressure on. McBurney here and Njai pressuring the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper. And Basham winning a header here into the midfield, and a great pass out to Graham on the right-hand side, and it goes out for, I believe, a corner or maybe a throw-in.
Yeah.
A really, really good outlet pass there. Graham making the run, and it kind of took Kadra completely out of that. No way he was ever going to get to that one.
Yeah, that was. Kadra's got some pace though. He closed Graham down very well, and Graham got on the end of it and put a good cross in, but we cleared it. We just cleared it out. I don't really think. Oh wow, I'm surprised there wasn't a foul there, but it doesn't feel like our back line's under a lot of pressure right now.
Yeah.
Birmingham are going forward, but they're not really offering much right now.
It's definitely they're pressuring the wings, especially this near side to us with Kadra. I think your point about McBurney coming back and defending, he's been involved this whole time back here. Him, Kadra, and Doyle really just stepping up and causing some havoc for the Birmingham City players down their right-hand side. But yeah, they haven't really gotten the ball centrally yet.
No.
And so the back three of Basham, Egan, and Reese Norrington Davies haven't been pressured, haven't been tested yet. But really, it's been the wings and how we are defensively on the wings. And so far, we've stepped up to the match. We've kind of kept pace with them, and now 13 and a half minutes in for everybody, we are back on the ball. Norwood now passing all the way out to Reese Norrington Davies on the left-hand side. Passes up to Cadra, a nice little 1-2, little bit of issues there controlling it, but maintains possession, and we're cycling it back around to the right-hand side with Basham and Baldock going forward. Baldock, nice cross in, but no Blades players there. However, it does go out. Cullen for Birmingham City heads it straight out of play for a corner kick.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like with McBurney dropping further, like deeper, and we're just isolating Ndiaye up front by himself. So it's giving us, since we've had to defend more, Ndiaye really hasn't been brought into the game much.
Yep. And the corner does meet McBurney's head, but he can only put so much on it, and it goes right into the keeper's hands for Birmingham City. But a good job of him to get up at the backside near almost in line with the back post there. And if he can put that kind of into that back corner, I think, a couple feet either side of the keeper, it would have been an interesting challenge for him. But instead, it was right at the keeper, and Birmingham City now working the ball up the left-hand side for them. And the cross comes in. Cadra there to meet it, swings a leg at it, and it does go up and a decent clearance as the Blades do now have the ball. So first attempt at kind of getting in the way of a cross, I think successful. Not the prettiest, but it was successful.
Yeah, workmanlike. I mean, that's all you can ask for. You don't need to. It doesn't need to be a world beater. He just needs to, we'll take it one play at a time. That's all he's got to do. Don't try and win the game from that defensive role. Just what a ball that was. How did he lose that?
Yeah, great. And yeah, Baldock, the ball taken right off of him there by Langello, and I think that, I don't know if that was Norwood from deep, but yeah, that was a very cross-field ball. Very good, right to Baldock's feet, but just doesn't corral it quite as good as he needed to. But Blades still on the ball here. Back between R&D, Egan, long ball forward, and Baldock meets it with his head, but off sides.
It was miles off. He was a mile off sides. I mean, I don't know what the last cross come in. Why did Baldock throw his hands up?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that would have been off sides, but it looked like he wanted a foul or a handball on the Birmingham defender. But
yeah,
I don't know. But I mean, two very well worked long crosses over the top. So that Birmingham defense is coming out a little bit more. So we have that space in between their back line and their goalkeeper. So let's see if we can work a couple more of those good crosses in there, and maybe get in a one-on-one with the keeper.
Absolutely. And that definitely is going to be a question, as Ndiaye here with the ball out to McBurney, who passes it back to Ndiaye into the box now, looking to try to center it, but instead opts to circle back around.
Shoot!
He's still not shooting. Out to Baldock now, who takes on one-touch pass Chong, looking for a pass all the way out to Cadra on the left-hand side now. Back to Baldock, who's left of center, working it now. R&D, Cadra, Berga, up to Doyle, back heel, Cadra, and he just slips and loses the ball. Oh, man, if he could have kept his footing there. What a beautiful back heel from Tommy Doyle.
Oh, man, that was a wonderful piece of work right there. Oh, no. Oh, boy.
I'll say Langello with the ball. Birmingham City centers it to Chong. Chong hits it, but luckily R&D gets a toe to it, and it goes straight over the bar. Taith Chong is dangerous.
I mean, yeah, you got to look at it though too. We were almost who's that? Who defended that? Was that R&D that got back and forced that over the bar?
Yeah, him and Egan both put a foot in, but it did go off of Reese Norrington Davies.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a simple counter attack there. that
Hmm.
we were all out of sorts, and there was a space between our back line and then our midfield, and they found that gap, and Chong was wide open making a run. He's just thank God we stuck a leg out.
Yep. Yep, definitely. And it was going straight in. I think it would have been right at Wes if it didn't take that deflection over the top. But the corner from that is met by a Blades player, immediately out with a good clearance. And so we are now settling back down, getting the ball, working it now with Norwood in the middle. But yeah, a great sequence there from our pressure and the almost chance from Kadra all the way down to that counter attack. Yeah, it was kind of like Chong was coming in unmarked, right? Like
Yeah,
that was the big discrepancy there. The back three were in position, and we saw that they were able to deal with everything. But Chong making a late run, we needed to have somebody on him as that was happening.
yeah. No, I would agree. I agree 100% with that. But I mean,
So,
it's turned into a pretty open game here. It's kind of
yeah.
end to end here.
Yep, and a lot of boots going up. A advantage played as it looked like Basham fouled a man, and it's now Egan sliding into the ground to defend, and does in the end get enough in the way of Scott Hogan there to put him off. I think it may be out for a corner. But yeah, Hogan making a really good run. Egan tracking him all the way. At one point, does a nice slide as Hogan loses the ball. But yes, it does go off of John Egan there. So it'll be another Birmingham City corner right on 20 minutes.
Oh man, let's see if we can defend this because Hogan a couple of games ago, I believe, for Birmingham against, I believe it was Swansea, had a hat trick.
Hmm.
So I mean, he's always deadly, in front of goal. If
Yep.
if the ball falls to him, oh, that's a foul. That's
And
gonna be a yellow card.
Wes rolling it out to Doyle, and yep, Doyle taken out here by Langello, who yep, is given a yellow card, had to come all the way across from his more natural right wing back roll to the left side to take care of Doyle. And you can tell that was very last ditch, just stuck a foot right onto Doyle's shin, essentially, misses the ball completely, and a deserved yellow for him.
Yeah. I don't know. I would have given him a red, but that would have been with my Blades glasses on, just so we could be up a man.
Yeah, yeah. The foot was low, so if maybe if it was a little bit higher, easy red call there.
Not
As the cross field ball from Norwood goes straight out of play for a throw in.
that was terrible.
Yeah,
That was he must have wanted to give a souvenir to somebody because that was in the area of no one.
yep. And I will say, I'm seeing a lot of Birmingham City fans in the chat. So thank you guys for joining us for the watch along today. Obviously, we are Sheffield United supporters, so we're going to be very obviously biased to the Blades. But feel free to stick around in the chat, keep chatting, talking some mild, appropriate, and polite trash to each other. That's
Yeah.
a-okay. And yes, someone commenting about the northern accent has changed a bit. Yes, we are both not from Sheffield. We'll put that out there.
Yeah.
From the US of A, East Coast boys, whatever you want to call us, the East Coast red half of Sheffield. Yeah, Tufty Club
Yeah.
East Coast edition.
Yeah, Tufty Club East Coast edition. Yep, exactly. The red half of Sheffield Eastern time zone.
Yes. So the Blades do have a free kick here. In the Birmingham City half. We're a little in front of where the penalty box would be. Tommy Doyle standing over, only a few feet from the touch line. And it does look like Egan and Basham are both up in the box with
Ooh,
Bernie and Berga. And wow,
good.
yep, just a foot over the bar towards the back post. Reddy would have got a hand to that, but it did not miss by much from Tommy Doyle there.
No, it was a good effort. Really good effort. I couldn't tell if the keeper touched it or not. Apparently, he didn't because they're giving it a goal kick. But yeah, what a good effort.
Yep.
I mean, just from a set piece, an effort on goal, hit the top of the crossbar. I mean, you clearly see he's probably been working on that in training.
Yes, and definitely some some questions being asked by the Blades and the Birmingham City defense. Nobody having a really big spell of possession yet as the Blades are trying to win the ball. It does go out for a throw in about 6 yards from the corner flag. Yeah, definitely a game where I don't know if one team has had a big advantage over the other. It does feel like the Blades maybe the slightly better team, but you can feel a little bit as that cross comes in dangerously from Berga and Ruddy able to palm it to himself. But yeah, the Blades may be asking the better questions, but without Ahmed Hadzic in the back, it doesn't feel as comfortable defensively.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. That what you just said there, because I think we're just going to be a little bit nervy because it's gonna be a couple of games for this back line to finally gel. But you know we've got experienced players in the back, so it probably halfway through this game. I mean, you can see they're communicating and talking to each other. So I don't see any issue back here. We might have a couple nervy moments, but we had nervy moments when Anel was in there.
Absolutely. As Berga now on the ball, trying to work into the box, does get a cross in, but a little heavy, and it goes out for a goal kick. So some good defensive pressure there from Trusty for Birmingham City's back line. A trusty defender so far this match.
Yeah, I saw this in the chat. I watched the whole Wrexham thing. I can't get it. I mean, it just seems like Rob McElhaney is all about it, and Ryan Reynolds is like, "Hey, I'll be the face to it because I have all kinds of hundreds of millions of dollars," and doesn't really care about it. But I mean, it's entertaining to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, they're 5 leagues or what? 4 leagues below us, 3 leagues below us, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, Wrexham. Decent show. I've watched the first 2 episodes so far, so I got to catch up on the rest of it. But yeah, we'll see. That they're funny guys. It's a team. You like sports stories. It's probably entertaining as a generic sports story. But yeah, I don't know if it's gonna win. How many like hardcore football fans from the U.S. who already have their team? I don't know if anybody's gonna switch to Wrexham. It's not that kind of a team to switch and follow, but we'll all be like kind of on the sidelines, probably rooting for them.
Yeah. When especially when they find out how much it costs to stream them too.
Oh, yeah.
So you're not going to have too many American supporters jump on that train.
Yeah. Maybe ESPN buys the National League television rights.
Yeah.
So it is the Blades with the ball. Norwood crossing it into the box. McBurney gets the flick on header as Baldock passes it center. Sander Berga with a touch with his left foot. And wow, just goes wide. Oh my gosh, that was very close. A left-footed shot from Sander. Really, really good play here from Baldock to corral the ball. Sander takes a touch to put off all the defenders back to his left foot and just misses the back post.
Just wide. I mean, we'll see it from this camera angle here. How it was probably about a foot wide because they show it from behind the goal. But I mean, nonetheless, another chance.
Yep. And Troy Deeney now, or Scott Hogan, one of the two. Yeah, I think Scott Hogan with the ball, laying it off for Graham on the right-hand side now. Birmingham City in attack. The cross comes up, but it goes well over the top of everybody. And rather than letting it go out, the Blades do elect to keep that ball in and try to work it back up with Tommy Doyle here. A long pass up to Illiman and Jai. A lot of pressure, and does eventually get the free kick called. So, yeah, Trusty kind of hands all over him there, trying to push and pull the jersey and everything. But we do get the free kick.
Yeah, I mean, it almost looks like Birmingham's getting frustrated when they go forward in attack because they put that cross in and it was to nobody in particular, and looked like some, yelling and shouting at each other. So I don't know. Maybe they're starting to break up a little bit, become a little fragile. Yeah, but we can't seem to put an effort on frame. We just put everything over the bar today.
Yep. Another free kick that the header from, I believe, John Egan goes straight over the top, never challenging the keeper there. Stats wise, quick rundown here while Birmingham City player ties his shoe. Blades have 61% possession, about 50-50 on aerial duels won and duels won. 2 corners each for both sides. We do have 4 total shots with 2 of them on target. But again, no goals, 3 shots inside the box, which is good. And I think we're seeing that we are progressing the ball a little bit further forward into the box, whereas Birmingham City so far not being able to do that. But they do have a good opportunity here from Graham, who crosses it in, but Wes is able to get to that, jumps up and collects that one pretty comfortably. As another cross from Graham from the right-hand side goes astray, does not find a Birmingham City player. So the Blades do now have opportunity to work the ball forward again. Tommy Doyle now with the ball centrally, passes it back out to the right-hand side to Chris Basham. Basham now checking back to Egan and passing through the center circle over to R&D. Who now finds is that Norwood? Norwood coming from the far left-hand side there.
And you can tell that like Birmingham are okay with us having possession because they're really not putting the pressure on us. They're not really pressing our back line because we're just trying to work it to the left side, then work it back to the right. Now we're on the left-hand side. So it's kind of they're giving us our distance. And once we try to attack to our midfielders, that should be a foul. Apparently not. Then they give us a little bit of pressure.
Yep, and Cadra dispossessed there by Graham. No foul given, but you can see the speed of Cadra as he runs back and wins the ball back. Graham diving to the floor trying to win a free kick, but none is given. And now Tommy Doyle, R&D, Cadra, and McBurney all down the left-hand side. R&D is tripped up and a foul is given just across the halfway line on the Blade side. Free kick taken quickly, but I think maybe Troy Deeney was questioning that call from the referee, and
he tripped him up, didn't he?
it felt pretty obvious.
Yeah.
So now it is Chris Basham with the ball out to, I believe, Sanderberger on the far right-hand side. George Baldock now with it and back to Norwood. Centrally now with John Egan. And again, switching play out to the left-hand side, Reese Norrington Davis and Tommy Doyle. Cadra sitting nearby, elects to go back to John Egan in the middle. And a nice pass all the way out to Baldock near the touchline. Yeah. Norwood, first time cross in, does meet a Birmingham City player. So good spell of possession here. You can definitely see the Blades tactics, switching the ball back and forth, side to side, trying to find an opening at the wing. Norwood trying to flick the ball over for Berga to run onto, but Birmingham City able to deal with that one, but only so far as George Baldock does collect the ball on the right-hand side. Now back with Basham, and yes, slowly pushing up the field here.
We're not working with any pace. Oh, here we go.
Norwood over to Berga. Basham overlapping, crosses it center. Baldock just misses it. And the ball spills out from the keeper, but Baldock is not able to slot that one in.
He's just trying to pass it home. That's all he did. That's all he tried to do.
Yep, and it actually looks like it took a deflection off of Langello's foot, not actually reaching the keeper yet, which is why he had to jump onto that one before Baldock could make the run in there. But he did a good job to follow up the shot there.
He did.
So pretty decent. And you can tell so far that Birmingham City defensively they're not pressuring our back line, but instead but they are sitting up higher. Their back line is much higher. So it's a really condensed, tight midfield that we're playing with. And that's why I think we're seeing the Blades have the ball on the two wings primarily. It's just because you're not given that much space to work into, which is why we're having to try the ball over the top to run onto.
Yeah. No, I would agree with that. And it's kind of like you know, we're just trying to get that, and at some point, one of these balls is going to fall to either McBurney and Die that are up there. They're going to fall on the end of it. Going to have a gilt edge chance. Oh, now we have a little bit of a break here. Oh, that's so poor in transition we are in this game.
Yeah,
So poor.
Baldock does intercept a crossfield pass, and him and Njai on the break, but the ball up to Njai is very heavy looping ball, and Njai, with the speed that he was running at, wasn't going to be able to do anything to collect that. With Deion Sanderson, it looked like right on his shoulder there. So, but some more good pressure from the Blades on Ruddy, the goalkeeper. So his kick goes long, and we're able to pass it all the way back to Wes Fotheringham.
Yeah. And one thing you look at now, we're putting pressure on their goalkeeper, so hopefully they can make an error, and Die maybe gets up there and deflects one and it falls to one of our players. But as this game goes on, it looks like we're asserting ourselves as the better side. We just need to get a goal to put ourselves in front and take a little bit of the pressure off.
Yep. And trying to do that on the left-hand side has not been as effective today. Rita Cadra, as pretty solid he's been, I would say. Like, there's still errors. There's still not quite comfortable passing back and forth with R&D and Tommy Doyle and Indai and whoever he's trying to link up with on the left-hand side.
No.
As Birmingham City throw in gets over the top, and back pass from Basham was very light, and was luckily able to get out and meet that one and kick it clear. And another Birmingham City throw in on the far right-hand side.
It's just, we've got to, I don't know, that back pass from Bash worried me a little bit. That was like a tap when it should have been full-fledged bash back to the keeper. But it just worries me, since we haven't gotten a goal, that we just keep, like, the belief for Birmingham just keeps growing the longer they stay in this. Like, hey, we can get something out of this game, and if something were to fall their way, take it. You'd like to think that if they got a goal, they'd be able to see it out. But their defensive record obviously doesn't say that. But based on how they played now, defensively sound, it'd be tough for us to get a goal going forward.
Definitely. And yeah, you can tell that they're the Birmingham City now trying to make a run forward. Chong winning the ball in the box, trying to pass back with Langelo, and now Bielik on the ball. Bielik. Yep, I said that earlier much more comfortably. A good pass from Graham up the side, and a foul is called as number 2 Colin does push Rita Cadra down. Cadra was going to win that foot race, so Colin's only chance was to try to put him off, and the ref is smarter to that and does give the free kick.
We got to go again, man. They always say the worst time for the opposing team to score is right before halftime. So let's see if we can get a goal. We got about 8 minutes left in the first half, and I don't see it being very much time added on because of there hasn't been much stoppage.
Right? No real delays. Just one player having to tie their boot. For Birmingham City, as a good little flick on to Njai here, tries to work it centrally. Oh, and that shot pretty wide for Njai's standards. Kind of took the ball back from the left-hand side to the right-hand side onto his right foot, and didn't get any curl on that. It was all pace, and nowhere near challenging the keeper.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a hey, I haven't been involved in this game, and I want to play now, so I'm going to have my shot in the game. So, I mean, and then Birmingham do the same thing on the other end. It's almost like, hey, we're not having anything in this game. We're just going to just try shooting it wildly from random spots.
Yep. Yes, and both teams neither really challenging the opposing keepers too much yet. Blades definitely do have more shots on target so far, but even those have been a little tame by our standards. So it is now Sanderberga running through the midfield, passing the ball out wide on the left-hand side to Kadra. He's got Doyle overlapping, but elects to cut inside to the middle. And Bakuna does meet that cross. So we do have to recycle now from Egan back to Chris Basham down the right-hand side to Baldock, who's working backwards now to John Egan, who throughout this run
Oh
of
my God, that was
games
so
has been
bad.
he's been a very solid defender. And yeah, wow, another good opportunity there. A little 1-2 between McBurney and Doyle, and a pass just goes right back to Birmingham City. So even losing possession there in good areas, and the Blades not able to really work it to that final third quite yet.
I like the ticky tack play, but it never builds up to anything. It's just like the ball's given away. It's like we do a 1-2, and then was that Doyle not strong enough on the ball to make that pass? He tried to make that pass and like shorted him, I don't know, a good 5 yards. It's just like, man, we're just lacking that
Yep.
little bit.
Yes, definitely. And like I was saying, the John Egan there, you could tell that our tactic recently has been get possession and pass between the back line, and between him and Norwood centrally, the two of them have been able to find the right side to attack down, find the right ball over the top. So far in our good run of form that we're on right now. So I do like the that his defensive solidity is also translating to, like, build up play in the attacking half.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So I have no idea if any of that made sense. It made sense in my mind, and I'm like, I can't quite explain it correctly. So
I mean, I'm more inclined to agree with Scott now. This is gonna be a tight game, 1-0. I mean, and we said it in the build up to this game. We're slow starters. We know this as Blades coming out of the international break, so it's almost set up for a letdown, kind of, because we haven't had very good form. So I take a 1-0 win at this point. I'm okay as long as we get 3 points on the board, keep our form going.
definitely. And Birmingham City, again, with their defenders forward on this free kick, as Chong takes it into the box. It does take a deflection over the top of the bar, but it is off of a Birmingham City player, so it'll be a goal kick for the Blades. Yeah, always dangerous, always nervous when teams put their defenders up on free kicks, because then it's just a height battle on those set pieces. But we've been pretty good defending against those so far this year.
Yeah, we've been good. And how many shots did you say Birmingham have had this far? Maybe one,
two shots
two,
total,
two
none on
shots
target.
None on target. Yeah, I was gonna say they haven't offered anything going forward with a striker.
Yep. So we are on 41 minutes, about 50 seconds here, as the Blades have the ball in their half, trying to work it forward. Now the left-hand side. Probably not going to be too much stoppage time, as Reese Norrington Davis
here we go.
wins a free kick. He's trying to convince the Birmingham City player to let him take the ball and kick it, but the little pushing and shoving back and forth between him and Bakuna. Ref not having any of that, wants to have a word with the two of them.
R&D shoved him twice, so I mean that was a foul, and then he pushed him off of the ball, and then Bakuna comes after him, and R&D pushes him again. So wouldn't be surprised if R&D were to go in the book, but it doesn't look like anybody's been flashed a yellow card. So
yep, just some words of warning there. I'm sure if Reese has another couple pushes and shoves throughout this match after the whistle, then he would probably earn the yellow card. As the Blades do have the ball now on the right-hand side, cross in McBurney, and the head just goes wide. That was a pretty good cross, a lot of pace on it. I think it was from Baldock, and McBurney just having to kind of flick that one on. And
Mm.
actually Doyle coming all the way across to get that one in.
Yeah, I mean, he was unmarked too,
Mhm.
but it was just I think it's one of those situations. He was too close to the goalkeeper anyway, and if he does get a flick on and it goes on target, I think it's easily saved. I
Yeah,
don't think it goes in as a goal.
there's a pretty tight angle there.
Mhm.
Um, and now Graham for Birmingham City trying to stay on the ball. Kadra trying to defend, but does commit a foul. Um, yeah, Kadra, I think solid first half, but
Yeah,
definitely some question marks still uh, playing out of position. And I'll give him some benefit of the doubt for that as well.
yeah, I'd agree with you. Solid first half. Not really had much to do.
Hmm.
Just really looks really reckless in attack when he has the ball. He almost looks like the law firm last year. Just
Yeah.
would get like he'd get on the ball in some points and he'd be really reckless
Hmm.
and lose the ball and play it
Yep. And
ahead.
speaking of losing the ball, Baldock having the ball
Clearly.
there. Eventually, the Blades do win it back, but between him and Basham, uh, quite a bit of tackles and losing the ball, winning the ball right on the edge of the box. So a little dangerous there, but luckily the ball is cleared long, and it's a Birmingham City throw a few yards into the Blades half. Although another extra like 6 yards on the walk up before the throw.
Yeah, yeah, right. Um, yeah, I, I'm more inclined to agree with this because we're letting Birmingham City have the ball just a little bit more.
Hmm.
And I mean, we're not offering much going forward. Neither side's offering much going forward. We've had the better chances, yes, but it seems like it's going to be a struggle and a slog through for the 40 for the as I say, we put a good ball in.
Yep,
It's just going to
Baldock.
be a slog.
Yeah, Baldock trying to put a good, decent cross in, but Birmingham City see it out. However, Hogan on the long ball forward is called offside, and then promptly rolls the ball all the way down the field.
So it doesn't look like anything's going to come to this. And obviously, I think there's only one added minute. Scott said it in the chat. Yeah, there's one added minute. Might as well blow for full or for half time right now. And
Yep.
let's go back into the locker room and get it figured out. But I guess I guess the referee's gonna let Birmingham City take this throw in. Oh nope,
Yeah.
he blew for full or for halftime.
All right.
So as everybody knows, we are currently at halftime with Birmingham City nil, the Mighty Blades nil. So your first half thoughts there, Captain Casa.
Well, definitely not as bad as it could be. Like, I think we've been solid, and Birmingham City has not gotten the opportunities to really pressure us. So, from that standpoint, like, thumbs up defensively. When we're missing an El Hamid Hadzic, Kadra is playing out of position. So, defensively, the fact that we're as strong as we are right now, where Birmingham City only have 3 total shots, I think that's really good. On the other side, uh, we've had a lot of decent opportunities. We've gotten the ball up, some good chances. I mean, we're sitting at 62.5% possession. That should probably be yielding us a little bit more. 7 total shots, 1 on target. So that kind of thing is making me a little like, okay, we've got to figure something out. And maybe Birmingham City really do have a kind of a defensive formula that's going to work against us. Like we were calling out, they're not pressuring our back line when the Blades have possession. They're instead keeping their defensive line higher up the field and really narrowing how much space everybody has in the midfield to operate. And the tactic, I think, is to then try to win the ball and counterattack. They just have not done a good job of winning the ball because anytime they clear it, it just falls right back to the Blades. So honestly, this feels like it's going to be I would confidently say 1-0 to us. Maybe if we get a goal, it opens up the game
Yeah.
and then it works itself into a 2-1 kind of match. But there's really only one goal, and I really think it's going to be us from the way the game is feeling right now. But that's to say, Paul Heckingbottom has all of the halftime break here to make tactical changes. He can make substitutions. We've got 5 subs. We've got Bogle on the bench, maybe bringing him on. Scoot Baldock over, move Bash back to left side, R&D to left wing back. I don't know. Lots of options there, but, be interested to see what Paul Heckingbottom does.
Yeah, I'd be very curious. And it's been, I wouldn't say it's been a boring first half. I mean, there's not really been much. It's kind of been a little bit entertaining.
Mhm.
We've obviously had, like you alluded to, and I've said on numerous occasions this first half, we've had a couple more chances. They haven't had any on a target. I like to think that we are going to have more and more chances in the second half because we are going to, I wouldn't say impose our will. I would say probably grind it out a little bit more like we've seen against these teams that we've came up against recently.
Mhm.
Not recently, I say like almost a month ago, where we've had to almost grind out these games. They haven't been the most flashiest of games,
Yeah.
but we've came out on top. So I think we'll be okay. As you alluded to, Hecky can get in there and wave his magic wand over the side and maybe, make some changes. I don't think we're going to see any, changes at halftime, obviously. I think we'll wait till probably 60, 65 minutes. Maybe El Capitan comes on. Maybe we see get a Bogle sighting. You
Yeah.
never know. A McAtee, a Brewster, we've got plenty of people to make changes. So it's just a matter of when Hecky wants to pull the trigger on those. And, I still like our chances. There's a lot of, I'd like a lot of back and forth in the chat. We're trying, we're Blades heavy, and there's a few Birmingham City fans in the chat, and they're like, "Oh, don't underestimate them." I'm
Yeah.
not underestimating. They played well, or not well. I'd say decent in the first half, but we haven't played well. We've played decent as well.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I'd have to agree with him saying it's a even match right now. I mean, it's 0-0 at half.
Yep. Yeah. And you look at the stats, right? I, kind of called that stuff out. So possession wise, the Blades have, the majority of the possession, 62.5 to 73 or not 73, 37.5% possession. You look at the shots, Blades have 7 shots. Birmingham City only have 3, and only 1 on target for the Blades, but none on target for Birmingham City. Corners are even, yes, 2 apiece. When you look at duels won and aerial duels won, it shades a little bit in favor of Birmingham City. But the real thing, I think, is the pressure that Sheffield United has been able to create inside the box. We have 5 shots in the box and 2 outside the box. They only have 2 inside the box and 1 outside the box. So it is really like a Blades heavy possession. Like, we've gotten in the right areas. We've gotten, I'd honestly say, more chances to score than Birmingham City. Really, the only chance that I can think of was the one by Chong, who on that counterattack, after a brilliant chance that we had, they were able to spring a counterattack on, and he just made a late run. But again, we were defensively solid between Egan and R&D and Wes. The 3 of them had that covered. Like, he was not going to be able to score from that opportunity, but it was still a good chance. But that's the best chance that Birmingham City's had so far this match. So unless they have something else that they can come out with, or honestly, it could be a Blades mistake, right? We've not made too many mistakes so far this match. So maybe a big mistake or something opens the door up for them. But I will say, like, we're not underestimating Birmingham City. It's just everything right now is pointing towards Blades get the first goal or get the next goal. And if there's any more in that, then, we'll see. But the way the game is shaped up right now and the way it's playing out right now, I think there's 1 goal in it, and I think it's for Sheffield United.
Hopefully you're right. I think I'm going to try something a little different here at halftime and run through the halftime scores around the league.
Yeah,
a lot of 0-0 games. Blackburn Millwall 0-0. Blackpool Canaries, Norwich Canaries. Blackpool 0, Norwich 1. So that tightens the gap between us and Norwich. Obviously, us getting a point right now, Norwich on 3 points. It brings them to within 1 point of us.
Mm.
Bristol City 0, QPR 2, Cardiff and Burnley 0-0. Here's an upset brewing. Coventry City 1, Chris Wilder's Middlesbrough 0 at halftime. Hot seat for Wilder. Uh-oh. Could be out of a job here if the hot seat is getting a little bit warmer. Reading, who seemingly cannot shake this, could start their season 2-0 up against Huddersfield Town. Rotherham 0, Wigan 1. Obviously, the Blades in Birmingham 0-0. Sunderland and Preston 0-0. And here's another mildly mild upset. West Brom 0, Swansea 1. So, all these highly touted teams, struggling around the league. If we can go and get another win and just add more to, pad our lead a little bit. Obviously, we're not going to probably be able to shake Norwich this year. It's probably, if things continue like how they have, I don't foresee us being able to shake Norwich. But Reading, where did they come from? Middlesbrough struggling. West Brom struggling. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're past the point of the season where you say, okay, we'll give them 10 games and figure out where they are after 10 games. Okay. Middlesbrough, Chris Wilder, they were highly touted as one of the teams to go up automatically. They're down at the bottom along with West Brom. So managerial changes incoming for Middlesbrough and West Brom, maybe. Yeah. I mean, hell, look at Watford. They sat 10th in the league and sacked their manager after 10 games. So, actually, half the league is, or I think a quarter of the league has changed managers. If that serves me right.
Yeah. So no, definitely some interesting scores around the league. Certainly the the table not looking like I think anybody would have predicted to start the season, with the Blades and Norwich 1 and 2. Then you got Reading, Burnley, QPR, and Sunderland making up the promotion places right now. So I think more interesting, the next teams after that, it's Luton, it's Wigan, Blackburn, Swansea, Rotherham, Bristol City. You have to go all the way down to 13th to find Watford, who, like we said, just sacked their manager. So is that really that good for Watford? So it's an interesting league. I think you can confidently say that the Blades, Norwich, and I would guess Burnley probably start to find some form at some point. I think those are probably your top three for the majority of the season. But Reading, QPR is a solid team. Sunderland making the first season back in the championship push. Some of those teams feel like they're going to fall away, but they haven't yet. And that's credit to them, like putting that pressure on, closing the gap and staying in the promotion hunt across the league. You can definitely see that there are a lot of teams with a lot of fight in this league, and there's a lot of parity between the teams. There's not, as much of a gap as we saw maybe last year with Fulham and Bournemouth, at least Bournemouth until the very end of the season, where they felt like the 1 and 2 teams and nobody could beat them except us. For Fulham, we couldn't beat Bournemouth because of the refs. So I digress on that. But yeah, it's interesting season so far. A lot of stuff to take in across the league for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And it's, it's a fun league. It's not as boring as some other leagues, aka the Premier League. There was a great documentary I started last night, and I will probably finish it at some point this weekend, about the Super League when it started. Oh man, it is a definite watch. I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head because I was a little bit drunk last night when I started watching it. So whatever it is, it was done by Sky Sports, but it was it was all the buildup about like how long all these teams that were getting into this, Super League, like kind of were going behind everybody else's back, and they didn't really care about the pyramid in England, and kind of almost like, haha, you guys should have been docked 100 points and all been relegated and had to start from the bottom, and because you think you can create this super league, and that's fine and dandy, but then when you go and you're going to kill off half of England because they all these smaller clubs depend on the money generated by the Premier League, and if you're not going to have, you know, those top 6 teams in there, then why, like, the pyramid itself would almost like fall apart.
Right.
And it's a really intriguing documentary. I got about halfway through it. So obviously we all know how it falls apart within like 2 weeks, but yeah, we can't have anybody go messing around with the English pyramid, because if it falls apart, then the game we all love will suffer immensely.
Definitely. So before we get into the second half, and the players retake the field, I do want to ask everybody in the chat where you're watching from. Obviously, we are not in England. We are not in Sheffield. We're both watching from the United States. So I'm watching from New Jersey, up on the East Coast, and Chad is obviously watching from North Carolina, right?
Yep, Charlotte, North Carolina.
You've got all the Georgia stuff,
Yep.
sports wise. So I always get confused. Is he in Georgia? Yep. Or is he in North Carolina? So
we actually had the remnants of that hurricane come through yesterday afternoon, or basically all day yesterday. So it was real windy, 30, 40 mile an hour gusts, rained all day. It was kind of dreary, drab day, and now the sun's came out, and it's kind of like as they say down here in North Carolina, a Carolina blue sky, and it's a nice day down here, opposed to how bleak the forecast was looking earlier in the week. But as long as it's gone and past us all.
Yep. Cool. Well, we've got Chip Hawkins watching from Sheffield, Portland, Oregon Blade, of course, watching from Portland, Oregon. Although at one point I thought it was Portland Blade, so then maybe it was you were from Maine, but the little town there. Helen, who posts a lot of really cool stuff on Twitter.
She does.
Awesome, drawings and writing out for you. Love to see those. Watching from Newcastle upon Tyne. Vinster is from Sheffield, but watching in Portugal. So very cool to see some other representation around Europe. Let's see. Tim's watching from Sheffield. JL watching from Scotland. That's pretty cool. JC watching from a swimming pool in Egypt. Wow.
That takes the cake there.
I mean, that's like, Hal moving to Cyprus level of exotic.
Yeah, right.
Which if you haven't been following the news recently, one of the two main presenters here on the Chef United Way YouTube channel, of course, Nick and Hal just recently moved to Cyprus this week. So a lot of fun going on in his life, spending two pounds to send text messages to all his friends while the Wi-Fi gets set up.
Yeah, right. Jacob was in Bradford. Simon, hello, Simon from Pomona. Wayne's in Kingsland. So basically all over the place. Chris is in Boston.
Yep.
He's Bramall Lane, but not in the ground, so it's all right.
Cool. Yeah. Well, we are underway for the second half. The Blades kicking off, playing from left to right as we're watching. Exciting as always to see where everybody's from. So thanks for having us enjoy that. And second half, I don't think I see any changes so far in the players for either side. Just doing a quick check. Yeah.
I don't believe I've seen any changes come through. I think it's the same 11 from the first half. And real quick, I'll get this. If you haven't liked this watch along, go ahead and like it. Subscribe to the Chef United Way. I don't know why we keep saying Sheffield United Way. The Chef United Way. And if you haven't listened to mine and Noah's podcast, and hint for a special guest, we have upcoming this week, the Red Half of Sheffield. Go and give it a listen, a like, a retweet. Like us on Facebook at Red Sheffield. We put out all kinds of content. On Noah's tweeting right now from being drunk and hungover from his birthday, and we'll wish him a belated happy birthday. But yeah, just do that, and let's go on. Let's go Blades. Second half. Here we go.
Yep. And we do have George Baldock trying to work the ball up the field here as Birmingham City is putting a little bit of pressure on the Blades back line. A foul is eventually given as Trusty is like doing one of those wrestling moves, kind of a little like leg lock around McBurney. Some little bit of afters here, some pushing and shoving between some of the players. I don't think McBurney was taking too kindly to Trusty kind of holding on to him as long as he did. Not really necessary. And ref calling him over to have a quick little chat.
It was, I don't know. They always try to like tackle McBurney like that. They always grab him by like he had him by, that should be a yellow card. He grabbed him by the hips and took him down and then shoved him again.
Yep, shoved him and then just held on to him so he couldn't get up. Like,
yeah.
No,
there should be a yellow card in there.
Yeah. No place for that. And then Bielik is pushing and shoving everybody afterwards. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Trusty, if you watch this later on, Trusty.
Yeah, he's gonna go. He's like, I cannot wait to get home and watch the Sheffield United way and see what they said about me. Yep. Yes, he's a devoted fan. Birmingham, he plays for Birmingham, but he's like, yes, I cannot wait to get home and see what the opposing fans said about me.
Yes. You'll never see this, but shaking my head at you, sir. Shaking my head. As Chong for Birmingham City passes the ball centrally, and Doyle, only real option there was to pass it back to Wes, and luckily Wes aware of that pass incoming and does clear it, but only as far as the Birmingham City players. And now Basham stepping in, winning the ball from Langello and trying to work the ball forward. And Jai centers it to Norwood, who has a great running Kadra in front of him. Kadra out wide to looks like Chris Basham maybe. Passes it in, a header, very weak from Njai, and it does go wide of the back post there.
Who was that? Was that Bash?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Makes a good tackle and makes the marauding run forward down the right-hand side. Pretty decent cross. I think it was a little high for Njai, but isn't able to get a good head to it, and instead goes softly wide of the far post.
Yeah, that was a little bizarre. It was almost a little bit of looked like Ndai was a little shocked that ball came to him.
Mm-hmm. As the kick from the goalkeeper is won on by Troy Deeney. And Bakuna trying to work that ball into the box, but we were able to clear it out for a Birmingham City throw on the far side as Birmingham City is attacking from right to left, so their right-hand side of their attacking play. It's now Bielik centering the ball, and trying a backheel pass was Scott Hogan, but misses all of his compatriots, and instead it is Norwood passing up the field to Njai, who has McBurney, Berga, and Kadra running far side. Baldock does find the ball, crosses it in, and the rebound falls to Sam Berger on the edge of the box. The cross, McBurney trying to do something with it, has his back to the goal, can't find a pass and can't find the space to turn. And so it is Birmingham City's Troy Deeney trying to win the ball in his half of the field against R&D and Kadra. And eventually a foul is given for Bielik in the center of the field. He is
What is going on here, man?
And Chong now with a hand near Tommy Doyle's neck. And a lot of players frustrated at each other on each team.
All he did was step over him. He didn't even step on him.
And he held Sanders' leg as he was trying to step over him. Like, there's absolutely nothing there to be frustrated at. I do not understand why Birmingham City is what they are trying to do with this. I
I think
really
all
don't know.
Birmingham City's trying to do is just kind of hold the game up. Honestly,
Mhm.
I don't know who's going in the book, but the ref is going to warrant or yellow cards. Somehow McBurney's going in the book.
And he's the only one, and I don't know how. I am baffled
He
by
wasn't
this.
even Tommy Doyle grabbed Chong by the arm, and then Chong put his hands around his neck, and then somehow McBurney gets booked.
Yeah,
I'm
he
not
must
really
have.
sure about that.
When the camera was away, he must have ran over and done something. But wow,
Yeah, I
just
don't.
just crazy.
That doesn't really make any sense. Yeah, it really doesn't. To me, it doesn't make any sense.
And now he's
But
calling the captains over, Egan and Deeney, hopefully trying to settle this once and for all. But yeah, a little bit of a break in play here, so we should definitely expect some more stoppage time at the end of this half. But yeah,
I'm
just crazy.
not really sure what goes in there or goes on there. I mean, I don't know.
Ooh, and the chance here from the free kick goes all the way over the top, and Birmingham City trying to get a header down,
That
but
almost flicked in too.
ball ends up landing right at Wes's feet, so he's able to corral that one pretty comfortably. But probably the best chance so far of the half, despite the big stoppage there. We've not really played that much. Norwood now for Sheffield United with the ball, working it over to the right-hand side. Basham finding Sander Berge. Baldock had made a run into the box, so he's now coming out. And Berge trying to dribble back and forth, find some open space, find an open lane to pass into. And it's now Norwood and Basham and Baldock all passing around the right-hand side. And of course, it's Berge making the run with the ball to the end line. And the cross this time does go out of play behind the goal. It was a little high, probably aiming for somebody far post there. But
I think he went over the
yeah.
line as he crossed it.
Yep.
But they're replaying the Birmingham chance, and that's their first chance of the game. I mean, it got flicked on. It almost fell to Deeney to Hogan, and Hogan couldn't slam it home. But I don't know.
Yeah, it was a swing and a miss by Hogan. Actually, a really good free kick long ball from Ruddy, the Birmingham City goalkeeper. Troy Deeney headed it down exactly to where Hogan was going to be running onto it, and he just swung and missed, really, and that's why West was able to corral that so comfortably. So, honestly, a really, really good chance there for Birmingham City. The more I look at that, like that was actually quite dangerous, and we were just casually talking through it.
I mean, but to me, it honestly felt like West had it, West had it stopped, but
definitely had it covered.
It's kind of like we had a defensive breakdown.
Yeah, Hogan could have done better with that for sure.
Yeah. I don't like how they're started. Right, they've started, I think, better than us in the second half here.
Yep, and looks like Chong and Graham standing over the free kick for Birmingham City, coming in from the left-hand side, probably 12, 13 yards outside of the penalty box. Got Baldock and Njai kind of standing as a mini wall in front of them. Ball in, but straight at Wes, easily comfortable, picks that one up.
West never bowls the ball out to anybody on the left or the right-hand side. He waits till everybody gets forward, and I understand that. But he just, we got attacking players that take off once he gets the free kick in his hands, and he never bowls it out to him. He just kind of I understand he wants to take the pressure off the back line, but maybe we can nick something if you bowl it out to a wide player.
And Birmingham City winning the ball there.
Ooh,
now Chong working into the box, deflected cross from Bash, and a great diving block from Ollie Norwood there. Brilliant technique to just throw his body in the way of it looked like Graham, who was playing on the left-hand side. And Baldock now working all the way down towards the end line, just kept running with that ball and eventually cuts it back now to Norwood, who finds Baldock out to Basham. And now we're cycling it over for the first time really this half to the left-hand side with Tommy Doyle trying to cut into the center of the field, finds Norwood out to RND, finds Cadro wide near the touchline, cuts inside, right foot, and can't find anything. I think he was trying to pass it back to either Doyle or R&D, whoever was standing over there, but kind of mishit that one, and Birmingham City cleared it out long.
Yeah, we're in the stage of the game too with 56 minutes gone, or almost 57 now. To where the sun is at the weird angle on the camera, so it goes from shaded to sun, so it really starts messing with what players are on the ball. It makes it harder to figure out which ones they are.
Definitely. But the Blades do have the ball again, trying to pass up the right-hand side, and Baldock's pass into Njai is taking a heavy touch, and now it's Troy Deeney for Birmingham City working down this left-hand side, and Langella was wide open, crossed it, but to no one. Chong with a shot that deflects off of Egan, and luckily it was far enough out that West had enough time to get down and make the save. But another dangerous counterattack from Birmingham City.
Yeah, I didn't know where all our players were. Like, we weren't retreating in droves. There was like one player comes back, two or three come back. It's just like, I guess they were confident in the numbers we had back to defend it. I can't. It's just so weird playing into the sun in the second half. It's so weird.
Yep. And an attempted long ball pass, I think, from Tommy Doyle trying to find Njai on the edge of the box. Doyle was at least 12 or so yards into the Blades half. So very optimistic pass there, but does end up landing with the Birmingham City goalkeeper. And Birmingham trying to pass out from the back, eventually having to try a long pass. And the Blades can't quite retain possession there. And it's Birmingham City again, with Bakuna on the ball, going up the left-hand side, out wide to Graham, who chips it in, but Norwood able to find it, but does not clear it that far. Does win the ball against Chong. He has done really, really well this season so far at winning tackles, Ollie Norwood. Like, a man who last year was known for getting so many yellow cards for poor tackles has worked on that this year. You can tell.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, but it's just like Birmingham are way better in the second half than we are, honestly. You can almost feel – it almost feels like there's a goal coming for Birmingham.
Mm-hmm.
You know? It doesn't feel like there's one coming for us. That's for sure.
Yep. And that cross into the center misses everybody, just goes long from Langella, and it is out for a Blades goal kick. So trying to take on George Baldock there and just makes him miss, and luckily it misses everybody else too.
Yeah, hopefully. I want to see us something. Again, we just can't retain possession much. We lump it forward, trying to get it up to like Ollie McBurney or something, and just then we like lose possession, but we've retained it a bit now.
Yep. Working now down the left-hand side. R&D overlapping him from Cadra. R&D with the cross into the box, and Njai, the header just wide.
Better.
Just wide.
It's better.
Not a ton of pace on that header, but man, the placement was almost right there.
He was going away from goal too. His body was taking him away from goal, but just one of those deals, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Get on it, boy.
So Birmingham City losing possession. The Blades, a long pass up to Njai, who is now on the right-hand side near the touchline, trying to find McBurney, who was making a run into the box, but not able to. Some interesting, like, haphazard flicks here from George Baldock and Yeah, I'm not sure. It does not feel like that. Felt like one of those flicks. Like if the whistle's been blown, you just kind of flick it long over the opponent.
Yeah.
That's what that felt like. So I thought the whistle had blown, but apparently not. We are still playing here, and McBurney loses the ball right on the edge of the area. But the pressure from Njai and him, and it is out for a Blades throw.
The one thing that I've noticed as well, McBurney can't be as dangerous up front because these Birmingham players are going down so easy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Welcome back. Welcome back. Everybody get your hands up. Welcome back. Number 20. Number 20 coming back into the game. Jaden Bogle. Welcome back, buddy. Welcome back. Let's see what Bogue's got a little bit here. Let's see if he can get a winner. We got to all flash back to the last game we played against Birmingham. A great goal. Nutmeg the keeper by Bogle. So hopefully he's got one in him.
Absolutely. So it looks like Bogle is going to the far left side, going to play that left wing back role, essentially where Kadra was playing.
Mm-hmm.
So both of them kind of playing out of their natural positions, we'd call it. But Kadra, I think, did a decent enough job. Bogle a bit more natural with at least the role of a wing back. So hopefully be just as effective, if not more effective. Then the other substitution, Rian Brewster coming in for Tommy Doyle. So definitely an attacking change here from Paul Heckingbottom, bringing on Jaden Bogle and Rian Brewster.
And I think Hecky was like, okay, I'll give him about what are we 62 minutes in, so almost 20 minutes into the second half. He said, I'll give him a run out, see if we've changed anything. We haven't really done anything differently from the first half. So I think Hecky was just like, screw it, we'll put on the change now. This is probably a change that he decided he was going to make at halftime. So now let's see what we can do. Because are we playing two strikers up front again with McBurney and Brewster, or are we going to drop McBurney in behind?
Yeah,
because he's been playing so defensive in the first half.
Yeah, it is probably a two-striker formation. So I'm going to guess you're going to see a little bit more of Sander Berge playing deeper in the midfield alongside Norwood. So, but I think that affords McBurney to be able to drop back, and you still have.
Oh! Let's go, boy! Let's go! Let's go! What a goal!
And wow, Ollie McBurney.
Let's go
on the turn from the free kick from Norwood. It just comes in there and that seemed like nothing.
Missile right there. That is an absolute piss missile. What a goal! Out of nothing. What a goal! Let's go, boys.
Wow. An Ollie Norwood free kick here that comes in and just kind of lands at everybody's feet. Nobody knows what to do with it except Ollie McBurney, who just finds the ball, turns first time with the right boot, and just, I think Langelo was like the closest Birmingham City defender. It bounced off his leg, and before he even knew where the ball was, McBurney was already taking the shot. Goes upper corner, beats the keeper. A piss missile, if I've ever seen one. And just wow. Wow.
Right into the home end, too, into the cop. And did you see the celebrations?
Yeah.
Absolutely going nuts. Blades
Brewster had to hold him back because if he jumps into the crowd again, that's
another yellow
red card. So
because you got to think. That's the whole thing, too. Like I was saying, Birmingham's almost trying to lure McBurney into getting a second yellow, and that's where Brewster and the players had to be like, hey, don't go in the crowd yet. You already got a yellow card.
Absolutely.
Yes, here we go, man. Here we go. Whew, I got so excited. I've got to play the goal the goal side. I got so excited. I completely forgot to play it. Oh man, what a goal. Blades on top. Blades up 1-0. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
And apologies to everyone. I am at least 5 seconds behind Chad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. I couldn't.
You're going to get the excitement from Chad when we score, and then I will describe what just happened. But for all of you watching along, Chad is a little bit ahead of me. So if you've lined up with me, but you want to have the goal like excitement right when it happens, jump 5 seconds ahead. But yeah, exciting stuff. Ollie McBurney on a scoring hot streak right now. 5 goals, 6 games or something like that. I
Yeah.
think we just keep tallying it up, one a game now
Yeah.
almost. But yeah, exciting stuff. The clouds now I think are fully out blocking the sun because I don't see any more shadows on the field, which
That's
is
good.
awesome. I really appreciate that.
Oh,
So,
man.
but no, excited now, and I think in that Birmingham City may have made a change. Trying to see who that was.
They brought. I haven't got any on mine. I haven't.
Yeah, so it's Mabry, Mejbri, Hannibal. We'll call him Hannibal. Came on, I think,
Hannibal Lecter.
for Bakuna. So definitely help me with the pronunciation if there's any Birmingham City fans still in the chat. I don't blame you if you're not here anymore. That usually happens once the Blades score. But if you're still there, let me know how to say Mabry's last name. As the ball is played long, Brewster trying to get onto it is shoved down, but no foul given there.
I would agree with this comment. I think we got to get McBurney off now that he's got a goal. I think we let him play for another maybe 10 minutes and then put El Capitan on. I agree with you, Scott. I think we put El Capitan on and, he put his big backside out there and grab a couple of fouls and win us a couple of free kicks. This might be a game that we're just going to finish off 1-0. Obviously, people in the chat are clamoring for more goals. I am too. I want 2, 3, 4, 5. But if we got to grind this game out, 1-0 win, I'll take it.
Absolutely. And we'll see what kind of response Birmingham City have here as the ball trying to go over the top to Hogan. And Jaden Bogle able to see that one out for a throw in for Birmingham City, however. But and this will probably be Bogle's first real test here as Mabry is making a run trying to get past him to win the throw. But
here we go.
The referee is pointing to the sideline, and the substitution coming in is the skipper, Billy Sharp. I like to call him Billy the Goat Sharp because he's the GOAT, greatest of all time. But a Billy Goat is a goat. It's a joke. And then there's also the other layer is the nickname Billy the Kid because he's one really old and baby goats are called kids. So there's like so many layers there. And okay.
How deep do you want to go? That's a deep, deep cut there. How deep do you want to go?
And that's why I don't do stand up. Because I have to explain my jokes and
Yeah. You just gotta be one-liners. You can't explain 10, 15 minutes. Exactly. But I don't really know I guess Birmingham have a corner now, but I don't understand what was going on prior to us making the sub.
Yeah, really it looked like they were waiting for the throw in. They took long enough that the referee decided to make the substitution instead. Or he was tell him to hold off on the throw while we decided if we wanted to make the sub. But like you said, it is a Birmingham City corner now. Everybody getting lined up. The big defenders coming forward now. And Chong taking this one, floats in, meets Chris Basham on the back, near the back post.
Oh, no.
And
oh, wow.
Chong now working the ball centrally, crosses in. And Troy Deeney, unmarked, nobody there. I think there was calls that he was offside. But there was nobody near him.
No.
Nobody.
Nope. That was I don't really know what happened there. The ball kind of got floated in and he wasn't marked by anybody. It was it's a little weird.
I think it might have been Egan or Basham who were kind of nearest to him. But Egan had stopped, kind of anticipating, I think, that he was going to be called offside. Egan kind of caught between two players there.
Yeah, and I mean, easy as you like there. Well, all to do again. All to do again. I mean, that was Not good defending, but it was flicked on. To be fair, it was flicked on, and yeah, we're just Egan was caught between defenders there.
Yep. And it's one of those, like, in my head, I'm so used to, you watch the Premier League, you watch MLS, you watch any of these international matches, and you're just waiting for like the VAR check, right? I want to see the lines on that, but we don't have VAR in the championship, for better or for worse. And so that goal is going to stand. It is 1-1 now, about 71 and a half minutes into this match. So yeah, the Blades now have conceded a goal, first time in a while, and Birmingham City's Troy Deeney with the goal there. So yeah, let's see what the Blades do in response now. So two essentially kind of crosses in over the top for both teams. Ours from a set, directly from a set piece. There's Chong kind of taking it a little bit before that cross came in. But very similar goals where just the ball lands to a striker and nobody else kind of around them to really do much with it.
I mean, if you would have missed that, but I mean, Premier League, ex-Premier League striker, buries it. Yeah. And they breach our defense, which, okay, come on, boys. We gotta go and get another one and hopefully win this 2-1,
Exactly. And the attacking changes were already made. So, you question now, like, okay, we've got the right players in there. This should be fairly straightforward for the Blades on what the game plan is, that we don't really have to do another tactical shift or anything. But now it's like, okay, we took McBurney off and he's, the goal scorer who's in form. Are we going to regret that quick change putting on Billy Sharp? I love Billy Sharp, but, we need to see that goal come from him so far this season.
Yeah, and maybe this is where Brewster gets his goal.
Very fair. Scored
Ooh.
2 on the international break, as Baldock now with the quick throw on the sideline crosses in. And that is Brewster who heads it, but it does go quite wide of the goal in the end. Not able to center that one.
Well, I'm on 73 30 right now. So we got about 16 and a half. I mean, there's probably going to be about 4 minutes of added time, I would imagine. So we're probably looking at about 20 minutes left to go.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what the Blues are made of, or the Blues, the Blades are made of, can we go and get a winner here?
Mm-hmm.
This is the game we've been clamoring for. Let's see what happens when we get hit with adversity, and this is the time to show it here.
Absolutely. As the Blades do have possession of the ball in the Birmingham City half, but the ball's bouncing around a little bit as Baldock kind of just lumped it into the grinder, we'll say, of head tennis now. The ball Troy Deeney does end up with the ball and passes it out wide to Scott Hogan, who is unmarked, but
Yeah,
eventually the offside flag does go up, as he was probably offside. Off camera, though, so it was kind of hard to tell.
Yeah, I think he was way in the hell offsides. He was out there having lunch out on the touchline. He was so far offsides.
Yep. So, and it is now Bogle for the Blades with the ball down the left-hand side. Finds Reese Norrington Davies, who cuts it back to Sander Berge. And again, with Tommy Doyle coming off, Berge is also playing deeper. So maybe not as effective of a role for him. The flick on there from Njai trying to find Billy Sharp. It is Berge who passes out to George Baldock, who passes up to Billy Sharp near the end line, crosses it in, and Birmingham City are able to clear it, but only as far as Billy Sharp on the right side. Norwood trying to center it into the box, but nobody there, and he kept it low. So pretty easy for Birmingham City to sweep that one up. And now trying to work a counterattack, and a foul called. Norwood given a yellow card for a pretty weak foul. I think Chong definitely flailed a little bit there, staying on the ground.
Yeah, he made a he flailed around, rolling around. I mean,
I'm sorry. That was Norwood touched him, and like 2 steps later, he jumped up in the air and threw his arms out.
Yeah.
Like you can say it's a tactical foul, sure, and that's probably what the yellow card's for. But you could also just call that a flop and not give a foul there. And yeah, that was silly from Chong. And
now he looks like he's severely injured, and they got the medical staffs out there taking care of him, and it's like, okay, so this is gonna add even more, but it also might be a tactic of Birmingham. All right, okay, we're okay with the draw.
Yeah,
let's try and milk this clock, get them out of rhythm. I don't know. It's just something to think about with the better part of 13 and a half minutes to go. Is this their game plan now? They're just going to go down and get cheap fouls from here on and try and break up our momentum.
Absolutely. So, so while Chong is getting the medical attention he maybe needs, question mark, although they're looking at his right ankle and Norwood bumped him on the left side. So I think maybe his flail hurt himself more than the foul actually did. I'm really confused on what's going on there. But to recap, it is a 1-1 game. Goals from Ollie McBurney in the 64th minute for the Blades, and then Troy Deeney with the goal in the 70th minute for Birmingham City. Both goals coming in kind of on crosses into the box. Ollie McBurney's came from a Norwood cross that bounced around, and he was the first man to know where it was, turned, and first time right-footed shot above the keeper, right into the top of the goal. A great, beautiful piss missile, we call those.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then the other one for Troy Deeney, Chong did a really nice job of working in some space outside the box, crossed it in, and Troy Deeney's run, somehow nobody tracked him. Egan was probably the closest man, but was calling for an offsides for Deeney after the flick on probably. But without the right camera angle to know where he was making that run from, it's hard to say if it was supposed to be Egan's man or if maybe someone else should have been in charge of marking Deeney there when he was making the run. So that's where we're at right now. It is we're into the 79th minute here. Chong waiting to come back onto the field, still hobbling a little bit. So we'll see if he is taken off or if he gets a little bit more time to run out there. And the ball is back in play now. With Birmingham City trying to work it down the left-hand side, and Norwood intercepts a pass there and a long clearance from Basham, but does not meet Billy Sharp as Birmingham City's Mabry does find it, the substitute, and Egan is able to step up and intercept that one. But Ilman and Jai for the Blades not able to make anything happen. So a little bit of back and forth.
Yeah.
Yep. Just about to say, yes, back and forth. But Birmingham City with the ball, and another deflected cross from Troy Deeney off of Reese Norrington Davies goes out for a Birmingham City throw. Their fans appreciative of the efforts their team have given here late. Of course, it is almost into the 80th minute here. Still level. Birmingham City with the ball on the right-hand side. The players working it centrally now.
Hey, how about a yellow card there, ref? Come on, man.
And nothing given for, I think that was Bielik, who I think already has a yellow. I think in the earlier scrap with McBurney, he may have been given a yellow as well. So maybe the ref hesitant to give one there, despite that being just as tactical a foul as Norwood's. I'm really questioning that yellow card to Norwood still.
Yeah.
But it is out for a Blades throw in on the far side of the pitch, just about at the halfway line now, as Birmingham City looking to make another substitution. Hall will be coming on for them. And the ball does find George Baldock on the right side, who crosses it over, and Brewster trying to head it into Billy Sharp there, but not able to beat the first Birmingham City player. And yes, it is Chong coming off for George Hall for Birmingham City is the next substitution here.
All right, so we got about, I don't know, Chong rolled around on the floor for about a good 2 or 3 minutes, so we'll probably have about 7 minutes at a time now, so we probably still got 15 to 17 minutes to go, because are about to go into the 81st minute, and Birmingham make the change. And I'm a little worried here. I am just a tad bit worried, but it's okay because we made a goal out of nothing. So there's nothing against us not getting a goal out of nothing here in the last 10 minutes of the game.
Mm-hmm. And from the throw in, not to a Sheffield United player, so Birmingham City able to win the ball there. They're working the counterattack now, and Hall, with a lot of pace off the bench, able to run onto that ball and does eventually cut back to Mabry now outside of the box, and Basham able to step up and intercept the pass. Trying to find a quick outlet to Njai, who's playing a lot deeper than normal, but with Brewster and Sharp on, that's kind of to be expected. But the pass to Brewster, trying to lay it off to him, and it does not go through. So now it is Colin for Birmingham City going up their right-hand side, far side of the pitch, trying to center it to Hall. Hall does retain possession and working it now back to their right-hand side. So Birmingham City here with a little mini spell of possession, but again, that final ball in for them, the last couple minutes has not been able to find a striker or an attacking player. And so Wes able to clear that up and pass it out now to R&D on the far side.
I mean, if you look at Birmingham's goal, it was almost a lapse in concentration on our end for them to have a gilt-edged chance, and Deeney put it home. I mean, you got to give him credit for getting the goal, but I mean, other than that, they really haven't had. Yeah, Hogan had that chance, but that was easily saved by West. So, I mean, it's one of those deals where, if that didn't fall to him, it's probably still 1-0.
Right. And I did say at halftime, right? I was like, the Blades get the next goal. That's what it felt like. And then if Birmingham City is going to score, the game was going to open up after one goal. And I said it was probably going to be from a Blades mistake. And the fact that Deeney was unmarked like 2 feet in front of Wes is a mistake. Now, again, we don't know whose mistake it was. Still not seeing the right camera angle, but that was a mistake. That was a mistake. And George Baldock here with the cross into the box, headed out behind. And I think that was probably Deion Sanderson. So it is going to be a Blades corner. First one in a while now that we've got a little bit of a set piece in the attacking area for us. So hopefully something good can come from this. But yeah, the Birmingham City goal, not really against the run of play per se, but definitely not. I don't know if they've got another one in them.
No, I don't see it. If there's going to be a goal in it, I believe it's going to be the Blades, but you never know.
Yep, Norwood's second chance into the box as the first one came back out to him from the corner, and Ruddy able to collect it, passing it long to Mabry, and the ball does eventually get out, and it is cleared by George Baldock. I don't know what he is questioning here, and a yellow card is coming out for somebody.
I think it's for number 6.
Oh, yeah. So Hannibal Mabry, he's got Hannibal on the back of the shirt, so I can just start calling him that. But yeah, Baldock got there first for the ball, and immediately the whistle goes because he slid studs out into Baldock's ankle. So easy decision there. Yellow card for Hannibal. The speedy substitute. He's definitely had some pace on the pitch so far the second half since he's came on.
God, Sandy Barge has been. Oh man, he was getting dominated.
Yeah.
Here's a Bogle sighting.
Yep, Jaden Bogle getting a foot in, winning the ball, and corralling it past quite a few defenders. Riem Brewster with the shot, and it goes over. Looked like that was with his left foot there, but signs of Jaden Bogle being back. I mean, taking on 2 or 3 defenders, winning the ball, a great pass to Riem Brewster. Just, with the left foot, it was always curling, going high, going wide of the net. But that was optimistic. Like that was good signs from Jaden Bogle. Really, really like to see that.
Yeah, that's what we got used to before his injury. He was going and dominating players in this league, and he's only going to get better this season. Once he gets more and more playing time, and you like to think that he's going to be a regular starter in a
Absolutely.
few weeks from now.
And Bogle with the ball, Graham for Birmingham City trying to put pressure on and eventually does. It goes out for what the ref is saying is a Birmingham City corner. Bogle disagrees on that. Difference of opinions on was Bogle probably out of bounds when the ball hit him as Graham passed it out. So it is another Birmingham City corner, another opportunity for them to work a set piece goal here. We are in the 87th minute, where we expect to have quite a bit of stoppage time. 2 goals, a couple Birmingham City players went down with some injuries. The ball does go long, and it is John Egan chasing at it. Now Billy Sharp working, trying to get the ball as Birmingham City passes it back in towards the box, and Norwood's header falls to Graham and Hannibal on the far side. Hall actually taking that cross first time, and it hits right off of Reese Norrington Davies' chin, it looked like. And now Billy Sharp on the end of a pass on the right-hand side from Sander Berga. Sander can't quite make it past the Birmingham City player, but does win the throw off of Trusty, the defender.
Well, are we going to turn the screw for the last, 5 or 10 minutes here and try and poke and prod Birmingham's defense?
Mm-hmm. Oh. And Bogle now, ball crossed in, Billy Sharp, and it's just a foot over his head, and Ruddy able to collect that. Although I don't know if it's a foot lower. I don't know if it beats that defender running with Sharp, but still a good cross from Bogle. And it looks like McAtee getting ready on the sideline, kits on and everything, as the ball is worked all the way back to Wes for the Blades, who kicks it long, looking for Billy Sharp, but Birmingham City win the header. And a long ball of their own. Don't know if they can get onto it. Looks like it goes out for a goal kick. Yes, it does. Yep. Reese Norrington Davies doing a good job battling Troy Deeney. Looked like Deeney was going to win the ball and try to kick it off of Reese, but Reese did a kind of a little matrix move and dove out of the way of the ball there.
Yeah, I thought it was going to go up for a Birmingham City
corner,
but yeah, we're lucky with a goal kick. McAtee on now. Illiman Ndai comes off. So let's see what we got here for the last knockings of the game.
Yep. So McAtee, hopefully with 2 other strikers on and Jai having to sit a little deeper, probably part of the reason why the link between midfield and the strikers has been so poor the last few minutes. So bringing on a midfielder who's just as attacking focus like McAtee may be the right call here from Paul Heckingbottom. We just hit the 89th minute. Blades have a throw in on the far side, and Bogle takes that, and ball eventually lands to Sander Berga, who works it back to John Egan. Now over to Chris Basham, and the Blades are back in their half, and McAtee trying to pass it out to George Baldock, but the pass too heavy there, and affords Birmingham City the opportunity to make a substitution. Actually, 2 substitutions come in their way.
Jukovic is coming on for Hogan, and let's see who the younger Bellingham brother is going to come on for. They haven't. Probably Troy Deeney, if I had to guess.
Yeah, but they couldn't see the sign there when they held it up. But
7 added minutes of time. Oh boy, so this one's far from over.
Yep.
But you got to think, Birmingham's players been rolling around.
It makes sense. 2 goals.
Taking time. So. Yep, 2 goals in the second half. Yeah.
Right.
The thick Birmingham lad, Troy Deeney comes off for the younger Bellingham brother.
Yep. So Joe Bellingham on for Troy Deeney. So seems like more of a defensive substitution. I think Bellingham, probably like his brother, a bit more of a midfield player. But it's definitely the 7 minutes makes sense. Birmingham City, you would
Go
think,
on.
is probably playing for a draw. Berga with
Go!
the ball finds Billy Sharp in some space and can't beat the keeper. Wow, that was the opportunity right there.
Yep, that was it. That was it. That was it, and easily saved. Bogle's going to go in the book for that back tackle there.
Yep, little scissor kick, but advantage played in the meantime. Birmingham City, Hannibal on the ball, eventually cuts it back out wide to Graham. So Bogle does have to be careful not to commit a second foul before this one eventually gets called back. And the cross in is met by Chris Basham, cleared out to Bogle, and now Sander Berga trying to work back up the field. The Birmingham City player still down, and Sander completely ignoring him, and eventually Hall for Birmingham City does tackle that ball out of play. And yeah, the ref looking for Bogle, giving him the yellow card, and that makes sense. I'll agree with that one this time.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Oh man, they're showing the replay. Billy just it took him wide. He
Yeah,
played the ball wide, and by
and
that time the keeper.
And he had to shoot it with his left foot too.
Yep, the keeper was out. Ruddy was out to cut down his angles as an easy save.
Yeah, he needed to take it a little sooner, but I don't think he had it quite where he needed it. And yeah, the Bogle challenge, pretty clear yellow card. So
I would imagine we're going to be into about 9 or 10 minutes of added time now because
another injury.
The Birmingham player is laying in the floor. I mean, it is what it is, but I mean, the ref's got to be, adding the time on here. I mean, there seems to be nothing wrong. He's just laying in the floor.
Right. And you can tell the tactic now from Birmingham City, play for the draw. And honestly, we were all saying, come out of the international break, you always feel like you're going to play poorly. And the lack of Anel Ahmed Hadzic definitely was concerning. And I think that may have led to some kind of uncomfortableness, we'll call it. I don't think that's a real word, but for the lads at the back at the beginning of the match. So I don't think we were quite at our best in this match as we could have been. And so that probably plays into it. And in the end, probably a 1-1 is a fair result. But there's still at least 3.5 minutes left in this match. The ball out to McAtee now on the near side and trying to find the right pass to make. He does find Chris Basham, who's making an overlapping run. Norwood trying to find the space across the ball and does aim for Jaden Bogle at the far post, but Graham is able to get to it first. And Bogle now working the ball, and it looks like it went off of Bielik, but he may have awarded the throw in to Birmingham City, and he did indeed. So,
yeah, I think I just think this one's got 1-1 all over it, and clearly Birmingham is just gonna run this one out by, kicking it about out of play.
mm-hmm.
But hopefully we can go and get the late show and get a late winner.
The ball from the throw-in lands to Sander Berga, who passes it out wide to George Baldock, trying to find Ollie Norwood in the center of midfield. And now it's Sander making a run into the middle of all the Birmingham City players, trying to find a pass to probably Billy Sharp, but that is obviously intercepted. And now a little bit of back and forth between the teams and a foul called on Reese Norrington Davies. So a free kick to Birmingham City.
Yeah, I think I'd be surprised if Birmingham took this before it was. I've got 5:15, 95 and 15, and yeah, they burned about another 30 seconds there. They're just trying to get it to a 1-1 draw now.
Yep. So ball out from that free kick, headed by number 10 substitute. Looking for the name.
Oh,
Jutkovic.
ball forward, headed on by Brewster. Billy Sharp not able to get to that one as Baldock trying to win the ball high up the pitch. Eventually, it does land back to Chris Basham, and Norwood passing it, but it's a little heavy. Bash not able to get to it, and Birmingham City able to see that one out for another throw, and another probably 30 seconds off the clock here while they get settled.
Well, yeah, you got to think we're into the 6 minute here. You got to think they got to add at least another minute or two because Birmingham's player was laying on the ground for what, a minute, 2 minutes. So
yep. You would expect that to be the case as Birmingham City trying to lump it forward, but it hardly gets into our half of the field before the Blades win it back, and it does go out for another Birmingham City throw-in on 6:33 right now. And the throw-in taken. Chris Basham's head meets that one, and eventually it does land to Hannibal, who passes wide to Graham. Graham in a little bit of space as Bogle tries to close down. Does pass it up to Hannibal as Berga takes him out, tries to swipe at the ball, but misses completely. Hannibal mad, wanting a card or something given, but I do not think the referee is going to entertain that request. As we are now past 7 minutes, probably this free kick, as long as it's going to take this one, will probably be the last bit of action. So Sheffield United's only real chance here is defend this, get a counterattack going, and score right off of that, hopefully before the ref blows his whistle. Otherwise, this one is going to end level at 1-1. So it looks like Hannibal standing over the ball now. Everybody up in position, but Birmingham City, ironically, as they have an opportunity to win this one late, does not have everybody in the box. Ball goes in, Norwood header clears that. Graham trying to shoot that from the edge of the box, and the ball eventually finds, looks like Bellingham out wide on the right-hand side, and now centered. Berga has the ball, passes it. McAtee now still running, no whistle yet. Ball goes through to Brewster. Brewster finding George Baldock. Baldock crossing it in, and it's out for a corner. Will the ref let us play this corner?
Yep. Take your time. They haven't blown for full time. Yep. We're going to get this corner in. Oh, of course. And Deion Sanderson's laying in the floor. So this is another. This is so frustrating, man. Jeez. They're just breaking up the momentum. Yep. This has happened the entire game. This is what, since they got the goal, this is all they've done is lay in the floor and roll around. Mm-hmm. I mean, props to them. They've killed our momentum. They've broken it up. But it's just, I understand you see it both ways. You know, if this is for the most part, it's been an even game. 1-1's probably a fair result. But Birmingham has. Did he just throw up? He just they're just trying to break our momentum up, and hopefully we can score from the corner and win this.
Yep, and I don't know if the ref's going to let him on the pitch to defend the corner, which you went down, so you got to stay off until the ball's back in play. So Norwood takes it, and the ball misses everybody. Bogle on the edge of the area now, trying to find space.
Just blow for full time
to kick it in, and the ball does go out now. The pass out to Norwood does not find him. So it'll be Birmingham City throw in their half.
This will be probably it here.
Yep. So we are on 9:50 of added time, almost 10 minutes of about 3 past what was initially said. And another throw in given for Birmingham City near the halfway point of the field.
Is that it? All's even.
Yep. There we go.
All's even.
A 1-1 result for the Blades. Not a great performance, but
is even.
Given the opportunities everybody's had in this game, given the missing players of Anel Ahmedhodzic, given that we were coming back from an international break, probably a fair result, probably one we'd take. And we said we were going to stop winning every game at some point.
Yeah, exactly. I
So,
mean, we can't win every game in this league. I mean, a point is a point. Yeah, it brings our the people in the league closer to us, but all is even. This was a fairly even game. I mean, well done to Birmingham for coming on the road and getting a draw against the Blades. But we can see there's stuff to work on. And we just got to worry about getting the cohesiveness of this team back together after the international break. We have 10 games until the start of the World Cup. So let's go. Let's get things rolling again. We go again against QPR midweek. So let's go. Let's see if we can go and get 3 points, get back to winning ways. That's what were your thoughts on this 1-1 result there, Robert Kitson?
yeah. I mean, honestly, it's a point, and that's better than no points. But in the end, it didn't feel like Birmingham City really had any good chances other than Troy Deeney out in the middle of nowhere with no other players around him. So again, I haven't seen the replay enough and the right angle to know whose fault that was, but I feel like it was a mistake, not good play from Birmingham City. On the flip side, we had an amazing wonder goal from Ollie McBurney. I will say that was not necessarily where the game was going at that point, but that's something he's been on form. He's scored those types of goals. So that was really good to see. Really, the disappointing part for me was, we've had a couple good opportunities throughout the game, some good chances, and we got in good positions. I'm thinking of just the Billy Sharp chance towards the end, and then not being able to put those away was a little disappointing. But honestly, we didn't have like a big mistake offensively either. Like, we didn't just miss a wide open net. We had some good chances, but really we only had the one goal, and it felt like we only really deserved one goal. And I think Birmingham City just got lucky with a slip up defensively on that play. So
yeah,
it probably should have been 3 points had everything played out. I mean, I'm looking at the stats now, right? 60% possession for the Blades. We got 13 total shots to Birmingham City's 8. It was, shots that were blocked was really the big thing for Birmingham City. They blocked a lot of shots. But you look at the tackles won, we had 75% tackles won. Total passes, we were up near 500 passes. Birmingham City was only down at 300 passes. Our pass accuracy was really high. Pass accuracy, like all throughout the board, like in our half and the opponent's half, total crosses, all that stuff we were way better at. And you can see, like, we had the possession, we got the ball in the right areas. There's just that final product missing. So we'll take the point. We'll take a big undefeated run since the first match of the season. So 10 games undefeated. That's still good. Been a while since we played at home, so would have liked to win for the fans at Bramall Lane. But yeah, in the end, a fair result. Just frustrating. Just the way Birmingham City played was frustrating.
You're right. Yeah, I would agree with you on everything you have said, but I want to say thank you again to you, Captain Costa, for coming in through the clutch, out of the bullpen. As I sent you a message this morning, we got to go to the right-hander out of the bullpen, and in a substitute effort for Noah again. And thanks to everybody in the chat. I know we had a lot of Birmingham fans. I like seeing the banter going back and forth between the Blades and the Blues fans. It's cool. Thanks for everybody that had a comment in the chat. And Robert, where can the people find you on the social media?
Yeah. So if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's probably where I'm most active. It's at Captain Cosa. So CAPTNCOSA. I usually have my mug with me, and I left it in the kitchen today. So I was going to show it because it's got it on there. But no, that's where I am. I talk about all kinds of sports. So Sheffield United, my MLS team, FC Cincinnati, baseball playoff season, like Hal enjoys, is just around the corner. So it'll be a lot of baseball talk, but still we're out there on the Twitterverse, having fun, talking sports. It's a good time.
And you guys could follow me on Twitter at cjarvis_13. And if you haven't listened to mine and or we'll say Robert for this week, because Robert's going to be making a guest appearance on the podcast. The Red Half of Sheffield, give it a listen. It's usually me and Noah, but Noah's going to be on holiday for the next week or so. So Robert's going to be filling in. So give us a like on Twitter at Red Sheffield, and give us a like, give us a listen, give us a comment whether you think we suck or you think it's cool to listen to. You know, it's always good to hear from you guys. And we can't forget, like and subscribe to the Chef United Way if you haven't already. You know, they give us the privilege of being able to do these watch-alongs over here. So, yeah, like I said, thanks, guys, for listening and to us today. And I think we might catch you next week, but I'm not 100% sure. We got to get some things sorted out. So until next time, guys, we will see you guys later. Up the blades.
Up the blades.